Welcome to the Pennsylvania Interscholastic Hockey League, here on the Management Science Associates Sports Network. The PIHL on MSAsports.net is sponsored in part by the Mount Lebanon Ice Arena, by Blade Runners, by First Commonwealth Bank, by S-Mark, by People's Gas, by Carlow University, by UPMC Sports Medicine, by the East Suburban Sports Medicine Center, by J&J Distributing, and by Management Science Associates.
Tonight on the island, it's a battle for the Division II championship in the PIHL. As tonight from Robert Morris University's Island Sports Center, the undefeated 23-0 Carrick Cougars take on the number 2 seed out of Class B, the Indiana Little Indians, standing at 15-5-2. Good evening, everybody. Alongside Sean Meyers, I'm Josh Rowntree here on the island. Players being introduced out on the ice for this Division II title game. And Sean, what great storylines there are tonight. You have two teams, neither of them have ever won a championship in program history. They have been there, both teams, and lost in heartbreaking ways in the past. Here they are tonight on one side, Indiana, such a storied program when it comes to open class and Division II history. On the other side, you have a Carrick team that's looking for history, trying to become the first team since Latrobe in 2009 to finish the season unbeaten and untied. A lot on the line here tonight.
Yeah, and what a turnaround it's been for this Carrick team. And for people that don't realize, Carrick is actually made up of players from seven different school districts. It's a co-op program. And they've had a tremendous turnaround. Just 2 years ago, 5-15. A year ago, 10-10. As you mentioned, a perfect record coming this one. The regular season really was a cakewalk. This team dominated, gave up less than a goal against per contest. They have not had an easy path in the playoffs here. They had to knock off the top-seeded team in Harbor Creek. Harbor Creek playing in Division B, whereas Carrick was the top team in Division C. That was a 6-5 victory in favor of the Cougars. Then they knocked off Meadville to get to this point. You mentioned they have not been beaten, but they haven't played many teams the caliber of Indiana.
Let's take a break and pause for our national anthem here from RMU's Island Sports Center.
Gentlemen, remove your hats as we honor America with our national anthem.
The national anthem from the Island Sports Center on Neville Island as Carrick gets set to take on Indiana. And looking at center ice.
Please welcome to the ice, Mr. Greg Malone.
You heard it right there, Greg Malone.
Mr. Malone was selected
will
by the Penguins as the 19th overall pick.
Drop the honorary ceremonial puck on this game.
1 points in 704 games. After his retirement, he joined the Penguins front office as the team's head scout during the years that they won 2 Stanley Cup championships in 91 and 92. Will the captains of each team please come to center ice for the ceremonial drop of the puck? Thank you, Greg Malone.
Pretty cool moment there, yeah. A lot of people think that this game might not be the same caliber of the Class Single A, Double A, Triple A, because that was obviously held at Consol Energy Center. But I can tell you, this is a crazy environment here tonight. two fan bases that are really well represented. And this has a big game feel. Obviously, it should. It's a championship game, but great job here by the people at Robert Morris and the complex here to set this up. And as we mentioned, we have a capacity crowd. I expect this one to be exciting from the start and the crowd to really be into it.
Yeah, Indiana always travels well. It doesn't seem like it matters what sport we're talking about. Indiana brings a lot of fans. They have what they call the Rowdy Rooters, their student section. And Carrick, it's a little bit tougher, I think, for Carrick because they're made up of 7 different school districts. But there's been a lot of buzz and a lot of energy this week around this Carrick program. Really, for the first time in a long time, the Pittsburgh City schools have recognized Carrick as doing something noteworthy in Western Pennsylvania sports, and great to see that all around. Great to see the buzz and everything going on social media-wise for this game. It was a very exciting week, I'm sure, for these two teams leading up to this championship game here tonight. Well, the Cougars, we talked about it. 23-0. You can go on and on about the numbers they have, the 230 goals they've scored this year, the 27 that they've allowed. But I think the thing that stands out to me the most, having seen Carrick now a couple of times, is for a Class C program, they are incredibly deep. I mean, they can roll 3, sometimes 4 lines out there, and they don't lose a lot from lines 1 to 3. They have a lot of talent. They had the top 4 scorers in the classification in Class C, and it goes down, trickles down through their lines. So this is a potential problem for Indiana, but the Little Indians have some depth of their own, and they have some pretty good scoring talent at the top of it.
Yeah, when you look at the Little Indians, they don't have the numbers, obviously, as you mentioned, to match up with Carrick in terms of offensive output. Luke Lewandowski leads the way. He had 43 points in the regular season. Then it was TJ Petro, a little bit of a drop-off. He had 31, but keep in mind, he's a defenseman, so that's a tremendous total from a blue liner. And then you have a guy like Ethan Boyer, and Boyer's been big in the playoffs, but a player that has really stepped up is Patrick O'Neill. 5th in scoring in the regular season, 17 points, but his coach challenged him, and he said, we want you to average 2 points per game or better in this postseason. Dominic Glavich, the head coach for Indiana. So far, O'Neill has responded. He's been a terrific player, and you see a little bit more balance from Indiana here in the playoffs than maybe their statistics would indicate throughout the regular season.
You mentioned Dominic Glavich, the head coach of Indiana. Matthew Maurice is the head coach of the Carrick Cougars, not to be confused with the Carrick Raiders, the high school, the hockey team, because it's a club sport. They are one of the few, if not the only team in the PIHL that does not represent the school name with their club hockey name. For Indiana, you said it. I mean, these guys that have stepped up in the playoffs, and you look no farther than the guy at the top, Luke Lewandowski, 43 points on the year. Anthony Manuel on the other side for Carrick. He had 65 points, but really that top 3 from Carrick was so good with Anthony Manuel, Vince Macarone, and Mark Granatire. 65 and then 64 apiece for Macarone and Granatire, with Manuel leading the way. They're dangerous in all facets of the game, and one thing when we talked to Dom Glavich before the game, he said, we're going to come out and we're going to show them a little bit of ice hockey, is how he put it. He said, we're going to trap them early and try to get them irritated. And I think that was something that maybe in the last 2 games, the Harbor Creek game and then, of course, the Meadville game, something that Carrick saw that maybe they weren't exactly used to, teams being able to roll out a couple of lines and trap them and use their depth as well against this Carrick team that really has been able to beat teams by using that depth and the speed and the physicality throughout their lineup. And one thing we do know about both of these teams, no matter what opposing coach you talk to, the first thing they tell you is that these two teams are very physical, and that's the way they've played here in these playoffs.
Yeah, and physicality is going to come to the forefront here. That's always the case for playoff hockey, but especially between these two teams, especially with the championship on the line. And Coach Glavich said he wants to be physical, and he thinks it's going to force both teams to go a little deeper into their bench. We talked about, in particular, TJ Petro, and he's been a minute muncher in the playoffs. He said he's probably not going to be able to play for the vast majority of this one just because he's going to be so exhausted with the physical playback. They're taking and giving out some hits. We'll see how that factors in. You'd think, based on the numbers, Carrick has more depth. But we mentioned a lot of supplementary players have really stepped up for Indiana in this postseason run.
Let's take a look at how they got here. Carrick went 20-0 in the regular season. Really, in no game this year were they challenged. There was one 4-2 game against Elizabeth Ford along the way. That was really the biggest challenge to them all regular season. Once they got to the playoffs, they played Wheeling Catholic in the first round. That wasn't much difficulty either. They won that 8-1. In that game, Vince Macarone had 4 goals. Mark Granatire had a goal and 4 assists. The quarterfinals, though, that's when the competition really stepped up. They took on the number 1 team out of Class B in Harbor Creek. They beat them 6-5. in that game, a couple of guys really stood out. Anthony Manuel, he had 2 goals. Vince Macarone had 2 goals as well. And one guy I think to look out for tonight is one of their defensemen, James Unger. He has really stepped his game up. And talking with Matt Maurice earlier in the year, he said that he thinks that James Unger is not just the best defenseman on this team, not just in the classification, but thinks that he could give a lot of defensemen a run for their money in any of the PIHL classifications. So he'll be a guy to look out for here tonight. He had a goal and 2 assists in that win over Harbor Creek. In the semifinals, it was Meadville that came calling. Meadville led for the majority of the second period. They were up 2-1, but Carrick was able to tie it, and then Mark Granatire was able to put them ahead with about 2.5 minutes left in that game. They got an empty netter at the end and won that game 4-2 over Meadville. Macarone had a goal and an assist. Granatire, of course, the game-winning goal as well. Jonathan Deresh and number 97, Jacob Spiker, each recorded a goal in that game. And one thing with Carrick, they alternate goaltenders, and they have kept the alternation going into these playoffs. They will rotate Christian Agazio and Nathan Norkovickas. They've done it all season long. Last game, it was Agazio. This game, it'll be Norkovickas, who's a year older. He will get the nod here tonight. So Norkovickas in net. His one playoff game was the Harbor Creek game. He allowed 5 goals, the most goals that they had allowed this season. So we'll see how he responds early in this game.
Tremendous stats for both guys, really.
No
I mean,
doubt.
when you look at him, Norkovickas had a .5 goals against. That's just unheard of. 6 shutouts in 10 games in the regular season. A save percentage north of .960. As you mentioned, he gave up 5 goals to the top seed in Class B, but I think that was to be expected. A lot of people said that one really was the de facto championship game between the number 1 seed from Class B and the number 1 seed from Class C. Obviously, there's going to be some lamps lit in that one. But you talked about him bouncing back, and I do think it's very interesting. Even teams during the regular season that rotate goalies usually settle on 1 come the postseason. That's not been the case for the Cougars, and there's some benefits to that. There could be some drawbacks as well, but we'll see how Norkovickas comes out and plays early. As you mentioned, it's going to be critical that he makes some saves early in this contest.
For Indiana, along the way, 2 wins. A tight one against Peters Township's B team, 3-2. In that game, you mentioned Patrick O'Neill, who's had a great playoffs, number 17. You'll see a lot of him tonight. He had a goal and an assist. Luke Lewandowski had a goal and an assist in that game as well. So it was a tight game, but a game that they won. They got to the semifinals. They took on Beaver, and they really outplayed Beaver. They won the game 4-2. It was a tight game, but they outshot Beaver in that game 45-11. And if not for the Beaver goaltender, Robbie Halvin, they would not have had that game so close. But 4-2 was the final score of that one. Jacob Clark had 2 goals in that contest. Boyer a goal and assist, and O'Neill a goal and an assist as well. And in net for them, we'll see the guy that has played, unlike Carrick in the rotation, he has played every minute for them this year in Zane McElhaney.
Yeah, McElhaney's a pretty good goalie. I had an opportunity to see this Indiana team in their quarterfinals victory over Peter Township. You mentioned just a 3-2 margin in that one. 3 power play goals for the Little Indians. So really special teams was the difference in that contest. But I was impressed by McElhaney. As you alluded to, he really wasn't tested in the semifinals. Just about a dozen shots that he faced, but he's been a workhorse, and certainly he's a big factor in why Indiana's gotten to this championship level. He is an impressive netminder, and you get the feeling right now that there's no fatigue right now because these players just have so much adrenaline. It doesn't matter if he's played 5 games or 50 games right now. He's going to be sharp and ready to play in this one.
The last time that Carrick defeated Indiana was all the way back on December 21st of 2011. It was a 4-1 game. In that game, as freshmen, Mark Granatire and Vince Macarone each had a goal. And since then, it has been all Indiana when these 2 teams have met. They have met 4 times. Indiana is 4-0, and they have outscored Carrick 36-4 in those contests. This, though, is a different night here tonight. 2 very different teams from years past as we're set to drop the puck at center ice. Carrick will be in the blue jerseys with the gold trim, white helmets. It'll be black helmets, white jerseys, black pants with red trim for Indiana. Mark Granatire will take the draw, and it's won forward by Dominic Galavich, the son of the head coach of the Little Indians. Back in their own zone with it. This is Jimmy Younger on the puck. Turns, being fought hard in that corner. It's Patrick O'Neill mixing it up in there. Finally, the puck will be outletted to center ice. Springing free. This is Macarone. Macarone down the left wing. Tried to cross it over, but lost the puck. Granatire was chasing after it, but it's cleared out to center ice, where Unger fires one in, but it's going to be an offside call, as hanging out in the zone was the guy with the long flowing blonde hair in Mark Granatile. Everybody with the blonde hair for this Carrick team. They did the dye job for the playoffs.
Yeah, the M&M look circa 2002 going right now. And on that last play, really nice job by TJ Petro, the defenseman, to break up what could have been a dangerous chance for Macaron. Petro mentioned he will be out there a lot. He is dynamic offensively as well as his work on the defensive side.
Ethan Boyer won the draw from the right circle back. The shot went high and wide by number 13. That's Luke Lewandowski. Now up the near side, the puck is outletted. Look out, here's Spiker behind the D. He picks it up into the right wing, looks for a backhand pass across. There's a man crashing on the far side of the net, but not quite able to get to it. Here comes Indiana back the other way. They play it in. Goes just wide of Nathan Norkovicus. Now to the near side. Boyer sent one towards the front of the net. Cut off, nicely done by Braden Agazio, but then he takes a hit. Indiana strong on the puck, but it's intercepted. Stepping back is Spiker. Up the far side, takes a hit from a couple of guys. Remains on the puck. The two Indiana players fell down. Spiker stayed up and then dumps the puck in. Comes out to the right point. Try to clear it out to Indiana, but it's taken away by Manuel. Drops it. This is Anthony Manuel with it. Skating out there with his brother Nick. Indiana, though, able to clear the zone. They send it all the way back down. It'll go for an icing call, so a face-off coming. Already, Sean, we've seen a couple of transition opportunities and a couple of pretty clean breaks coming back the other way for Carrick.
Yeah, the Cougars just great speed through the neutral zone, turning defense into offense quickly. On the other side, the Little Indians have had some good chances, just haven't been able to get any shots on goal from the point, but I expect this one to be a wide-open, high-scoring affair, at least if this first minute and a half is any indication.
Anthony Manuel sends it to his brother Nick behind the net. Now the puck comes out in front. A little chopper of a shot on by Tyler Wolf. Wolf was the fourth leading scorer of this team. He's been a bit quiet here in the playoffs, only one assist. Now Wolf with it on the far side after two players ran into each other. Tried to dangle through a couple of men, then lost the puck. Intercepted by Nick Fulton. Circling out is Manuel. Anthony Manuel, far side, dump back in. Nick Manuel plays it on the back end over to Wolf. Wolf, though, saw it go past his blade, and here comes Indiana back the other way. I'll play the dump in from the blue line. Chasing it back will be Unger. Unger behind his goaltender. Puck came free in the slot. Petro's shot just went wide of the net. Boy, TJ Petro got that shot from the high slot, just couldn't hit the net. And now here's Unger with it.
Great opportunity for Petro, as you mentioned. He's able to step in right into the slot, a wide open look, just could not direct that one on goal.
TJ Petro, phenomenal career he's had at Indiana. This season, their second leading scorer, 10 goals, 21 assists in 19 games. Long outlet ahead. Granatire had it go off his blade. Not an icing call. He did touch it, and coming back down, took a hit, fell down. I think the man that hit him took the worst of it. That was Luke Lewandowski. And it'll be outletted to center ice, cut off by Sokolsky. Two players collide. Coming down the left side, this is Saka. Brandon Saka puts on the brakes along the goal line. Tried to cross one. It hit a skate on the way through, and now will come out to center ice. O'Neal skating hard on it. This one dumped off the far side boards. Macaron tied up the clearing effort. Granatire trying to win it, and it comes free to Saka. Indiana steals on the far side, but taking it right back is Sokolsky. Sokolsky got tripped, no call. Are we going to get one? We are. Now a collision on the near side as Macaron collided with O'Neal. They might get Macaron here with a penalty as well.
Yeah, that was definitely after the whistle. I saw one of the VAR officials come over. I don't know if they're going to call the even up. It looks like definitely Carrick's going to have one player. Yeah, it will be.
Lewandowski's going to go as well. So Macaron ahead to the box. Both number 13s go. 3:37 will be the time of the penalties. We'll skate 5-on-5 after that on the coincidental minors.
Carrick penalty number 13, Vincent Macaron, 2 minutes for roughing. Indiana penalty number 13, Luke Lewandowski, 2 minutes for holding. Time of the penalties, 3:37. Macaron, 2 for roughing. Lewandowski, 2 for holding at 3:37.
So Lewandowski and Macaron, two of the high scorers on this team. On the far side, battle hard for the puck. We've seen a lot of physical play in the early going here. Now a man gets tripped for Carrick, falls into his own player, and goes down. I think we're going to skate 5-on-4 with 2 Indiana players in the box.
That is the initial call, although there's another scuffle after the whistle, although only see a Little Indian being escorted to the box right now. So a great opportunity early for the Cougars with the man advantage.
A couple of quick penalties. This one coming at 4:10. Could not see the man that went to the box, could you?
I did not, though. Luckily,
I saw a 9, but I don't know if it was Mitchell Lewis or Andrew Roth. I think it might have been Roth. And I think it's going to be a trip. We'll wait on the official call in a moment. We skate 5-on-4, first power play opportunity. Now a discussion on the far side of the ice. The Indiana coaching staff, Dom Galavich, over there, they were going to send a man off. It was Tyler Mulak who had come on. They're going to have to change him off. They sent a new body on. Now a battle off the draw as 2 guys push and shove on the far side. Anthony Manuel tied up. And now Manuel finally skated around a little bit. I guess cools himself off and
all sorts of adjustments before that draw.
Indiana penalty, number 9, Mitchell Lewis.
So it was Mitchell Lewis. Kneeing is the call.
Knee, Lewis, 2 for kneeing at 4:10.
Very rare penalty.
It is.
Kneeing. Now here's Unger with it. Over to Manuel. Carrick this year, they have 34 power play goals. Sokolsky lost it as he skated through the neutral zone. And it's cleared all the way back down where Unger will take it behind his own net. Now bringing it ahead. Up the far side, coming in with speed. Wrist shot on, just missed for Jacob Spiker. Now Sokolsky lost it as he tried to keep it in on the right point. It came back out to center ice. Granatire waits, tried to fire one in, then took a big hit into the boards, and that's going to be a penalty. I think it's going to be O'Neill. Bodies collide again.
Yeah, the initial penalty definitely on O'Neill, and for the 3rd time after the initial penalty, both teams seem to continue to go at it, but once again, it'll just be a Little Indian heading to the box, and this is going to be an extended 5-on-3 now for the Cougars.
I think boarding will be the call there. Or the hit from behind call. Penalty coming at 5:09. Big opportunity, though, for Carrick, now 5-on-3. Brandon Sacca will take the draw. Tyler Wolf, Nick Manuel out there. Brandon Agazio and James Unger on the power play. 5-on-3 for 1 minute and 7 seconds.
Indiana penalty, number 17, Patrick O'Neill. 2 minutes for checking from behind.
Checking from behind is the call. Now here's Manuel. Nick Manuel wrapped it around the end boards to the near side. Stepping up and dropping it back to the near side. Sacca works it down the board. Sacca delaying and got hit by Galavich. Wolf then brought it back to the near side where Agazio drops it in. Sacca dropped it back. There was nobody there, and that'll be an easy clear for Galavich all the way down.
Josh just wanted to add, I believe they said 10-minute misconduct for O'Neill as well, in addition to that 2 minutes for the checking from behind. And we mentioned he's been a critical piece of the postseason success for Indiana.
So a 10-minute misconduct. That's a big one. Now a puck sent in. Stepping back, winning it is number 14, TJ Petro, the defenseman, stepping up. Got a great opportunity on a break.
Yeah, he skated about 120 feet to win that race and still got a pretty good shot off.
Walking it ahead as Unger dropped it into the slot. Nobody home.
That'll allow Lewis to come out of the box.
So now we skate 5-on-4. This is Spiker. Spiker on the far side, waiting on the backhand. He skates it to the high point, gets rid of a wrist shot, and a save made by McElhaney.
That's a big whistle there because it's going to allow Luke Lewandowski to come out as well. He's in there with Macaron for those matching penalties, and Lewandowski, one of the better penalty killers for this Indiana squad.
Yeah, they're going to have to, because of the misconduct, Indiana's going to have to put another player in the box. That'll be Joel Santoro, who skates over. Santoro, 3 points on the season. Probably a guy that doesn't get a ton of time.
I'm surprised that they didn't do that earlier, because what if the penalty had expired? O'Neill would not have been eligible to come out of the box.
Spiker, the right point, went across, looking for Agazio. Low shot, not a whole lot on it, and it's cleared back out to center ice. 30 seconds remain on the penalty to O'Neill. He'll have to wait in the box, though, with that 10-minute misconduct. That's a good call, because the officials, the way this one was going, it was becoming one of those slugfest type of games you don't really want to see. There's a collision at center ice as Galavich and Granatire ran into each other. The puck will be dropped in. Spiker behind his cage. Look for a long outlet pass. It's cut off by Galavich. Galavich, not a good pass. Got off a wrist shot from the right circle, and a save made by Nathan Norkovicus.
Yeah, good job there. Anticipating that one by Galavich, able to hold the line just barely, and was able to skate in and let a low wrist shot go.
Chan is Norkie from the Carrick support section. We're over here on the left half of the arena.
Also, someone patriotic waving the U.S. flag.
Indiana on the far side. Great crowd on hand here for the D2 championship. Manuel lost the draw. It's going to be dumped in. Unger goes behind his neck. Power play is over. Carrick now 0 for 2 on the man advantage. Lewis will retreat back. Mitchell Lewis went down hard to the ice. I think he just lost an edge there, though. Some pushing and shoving again on the far side. This game has been a bit ugly so far. Swatsworth on the near side had his pocket picked. Outlet to center ice. Stepping back will be number 11. That's Tyler Barker. Will be chopped in towards the net. Norkovicus got the glove on it. Music playing here in the arena. I think they thought there was a break to play. As music is playing, they're going to cut that off. They finally
It's like an NBA game sometimes. They just play some music during possessions.
That happens occasionally here, I've noticed. Stepping up is Jason Garchak. He chipped one in. Wolf will skate on, but he's 1 on 4. Now 1 on 5. Macaron stepping up to help him is getting shoved to the ice is Wolf. Macaron, though, took it away. And finally, they'll take the puck away from him. Unger got back, and there's a shot in. Do I have a penalty?
Yeah, I think that might be an interference on Carrick.
It's going to be a penalty. I believe it's going to be on Unger. Unger did not play the puck, and I thought it looked like a penalty initially. A delayed call, and they're going to send Unger to the box.
Yeah, that's one of those plays where it really depends on how far ahead the puck is chipped. If it's in the same general area within about 3 or 4 feet, the officials let that one go. I think that puck was maybe closer to 10 feet away from Unger when he tied up the skater there for Indiana.
First chance for Indiana. And the man advantage.
By the way, how about that penalty kill for Indiana facing a 5-on-3 against them? The Little Indians did a great job. Really didn't allow any good chances whatsoever. And Petro himself got a good one shorthanded.
Mark Granatire did a half slapper on the draw, but it's kept in by Lewandowski. Lewandowski works it to the high point, over to Petro, cross ice pass.
2 for interference at 8.
Behind the net, taking a big shoulder up high was Agazio. Now a battle for it on the near side corner. Can Carrick get it out? No. Lewandowski had it on the blue line, but then lost it. Granatire applying pressure. There's going to be a penalty coming up here against Carrick. So Carrick will go down. They'll have to kill a 5-on-3 as well. They'll have a minute 32 to do it. Is a huge chance for Indiana here with Macaron going to the box.
So we've already seen both teams now with a 5-on-3, and this is something the players have to pick up on. The officials are calling this one tight. There's been a lot of penalties. Maybe you have to tone back the physicality a little bit. Not to say you don't want to be physical out there, but you have to pick your spots to make sure you do it within the confines of the rules, because the officials clearly are willing to send guys to the sin bin.
Carrick penalty number 13, Vincent Macaron. 2 minutes for high sticking.
High sticking is the call as Carrick is able to clear it out.
For high sticking and 8:46.
Petro now with it. Delays outside of the left circle, walks it into the left circle. Wrist shot on, just missed high. I went up over the face mask of Norkovicus. Now Petro on the left wing, brings it to the dot. Tried to send a pass to the high slot, a shot through. Hit a stick, it looked like, on the way and went just wide. It was Lewandowski that got rid of it. Now a big drive from the right circle, save made, Norkovikas, as it was Galavich to let it go. A step up, they're trying to clear the zone. Finally, Carrick will get it out. It's done by Anthony Manuel. Got it out to center ice. Now stepping back down the left wing is Petro. He delays, still 5-on-3. Up top, Lewandowski, wrist shot, hit a stick on the way through and went high. Now Petro collects it on the near side half boards. Cross ice pass, a good one. Low shot on, save made, Norkovikas. Rebound attempt, Norkovikas there to paddle it aside. Two players battle over in the far corner. Stepping out is Lewandowski. Turn, shoots, save made, Norkovikas.
Some dangerous chances here for the Indians, though, and Petro's been tremendous, making passes, finding teammates.
Right underneath, Lewandowski shoots and scores. A great pass. It looked like Boyer sent it over. Lewandowski right there put it home. A 5-on-3 goal, and Indiana takes the lead 1-0.
And after I highlight the job that Petro is doing finding his teammates, that time it's Boyer with a beautiful backdoor feed to Luke Lewandowski, who's able to tap it into the empty net. And we have our first goal, comes on a 5-on-3 as Cougars weren't able to capitalize with the two-man advantage, but the Little Indians were.
Goal comes at 10:05 of the first period. 1-0 Indiana. Great passing. Tic-tac-toe right on the doorstep to Lewandowski, who buried it into an open net. Nothing that Norkovikas could do on that one. There's still 30 seconds to play in the penalty to Macaron. Carrick could not capitalize on their 5-on-3.
Indiana goal scored by number 13.
Indiana did.
Lewandowski. Assisted by number 16, Ethan Boyer. And number 19, Andrew Roth. Time of the goal, 10:05. Lewandowski from Boyer and Roth.
Boyer and Roth.
Play goal at 10:05.
Boyer and Roth the assist. Offsides is the call as Indiana brought it ahead.
And you could kind of see that goal coming, Josh, because in about the 30 seconds previous to it, some really nice tic-tac-toe passing by the Little Indians. They got some dangerous opportunities, and ultimately Lewandowski was able to find that vacated space, backdoor, and the pass was right on his stick for the easy tap-in.
Macaron back out on the ice. Will go 5-on-5. On the near side, playing it down the ice is Isaac Eubanks, but didn't gain the red line at all. That'll go for an icing call.
And I alluded to the quarterfinals game for the Little Indians where they prevailed over the Peters Township B squad 3-2. All three of their tallies came with the man advantage. I think it's pretty obvious at this point, you cannot give this power play for the Little Indians many opportunities or they will make you pay.
Face off in the left circle. Spiker tied up against Butts. Dylan Butts lost it, and here comes Unger ahead. Unger takes a hit on the far side by Mitchell Lewis. Now behind the net, stepping out, shot. Oh, good shot on, but Spiker had it just blocked. Looked like McElhaney got a pad on it on the great feed from Wolf. Excuse me, that's Tylen Tranter out there, number 75. They dropped that pass off. Now Unger winds up, shot through, hit a stick. Came up into the equipment of the goaltender, McElhaney, who holds on.
How about those reflexes by the netminder for Indiana? McElhaney doing a great job as that one was redirected probably no more than 5 or 6 feet in front of him, and he was able to react in time. Good positioning as well. A lot of times those deflections, it's all about the goalie being in the proper position before the shot is released.
Now a discussion on the far side is Dom Galavich talking to one of the officials. Off the draw, it's one back. Hit a stick, though, on the way through, and Indiana will dump it out to center ice. Sokolsky on the near side. Played it up to Manuel. It was lost, though, but Wolf took it. Wolf tried to go around Barker, couldn't do it. Wolf skated on into the attacking zone, but he was offsides. Now on the far side, Manuel intercepts. And here comes Anthony Manuel. He lost control of the biscuit, and it's brought back out to the red line. Skating ahead, trying to collect the puck here for Indiana is Swatsworth. The shot skipped wide of the cage to the near side corner. Stepping up, big hit on the near side as Wolf laid out Swatsworth. Now Manuel. You can see the trap is fully on here for Indiana. They are not allowing a lot of neutral ice to be gained, and it's working perfectly. We'll see how Carrick adjusts as this game progresses, as we have just over 4:30 to play. 1-0 Indiana in the lead on the Luke Lewandowski goal. For Lewandowski, it's his second of the playoffs, 26th of the year overall.
And Lewandowski, along with Petro, even though they've really been good in this playoff run, they haven't got on the scoreboard as much as you would have thought based on their regular season numbers. I think this is a game where both of those guys can really make an impact in terms of putting up points. We've already seen Lewandowski get the only tally.
Boyer won the draw back, but it came out to Petro, who was standing outside of the blue line. He just dumped it down in. Oh, boy. Carrick nearly had a 2-on-1 back the other way as they had Macaron behind the D. There's only one defenseman back and two Carrick forwards. Now Macaron steals it on the near side. Tried to get it out to center ice to Granatire. Pass was off the mark. Indiana intercepts. Now Macaron steps up and will bank it all the way down the near side boards. Bringing it ahead. This is Clark. Jacob Clark. All the way around the end boards to Unger. Unger, a big kid out there. He's very tall for a high school defenseman. Skates very well for his size, too. Near side, they try to get it up the near side boards. They do get it out, does Carrick. Macaron was able to nudge it up ahead. Now Unger with it. Unger took a shoulder, knocked a man down in Fulton, and sent the puck around him. Unger now on the near side, far side half boards. Shot on, missed. Rebound comes all the way to the near side half boards. Granatire mixing it up back behind the play, and it's going to be a cross-checking call, I believe, on Granatire as he took a shot and then laid a stick back into the man. Right now, I think Carrick is frustrated. I think the trap is frustrating them, and they're taking bad penalties. And the problem is their best players are taking penalties. And I think we might get a penalty potentially for embellishment here as well on
Petro. And that's critical because we talked about how much Petro typically plays for this team, maybe be a little less because of the physical mentality for both teams. But with about 3.5 minutes left in this opening period, I think it's safe to say he's played at least 12 minutes so far. He's been out there almost every single minute of this contest, but now he's going to have to spend 2 minutes in the penalty box.
13:37 is the time of the penalties to Petro and Granatire. Sokolsky, a shot on, rebound attempt. Shot went just high and over McElhaney. Great chance on the doorstep, as I believe it was Macaron right there.
Granatire Jr. Indiana penalty, number 14, Thomas Petro. Coincidental minors for cross-checking at 13:37.
So both will get cross-checking calls. I think those are the right calls. I thought that Petro laid the first cross-check, and then when Granatire did it back, he caught Petro, and Petro went down trying to buy the call a little bit. Not saying that he wasn't hurt, but he went down and thought he bought the call.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remember that the PIHL follows the USA Hockey Zero Tolerance policy. Abusive language towards players, coaches, officials, or other fans will result in your ejection from tonight's game.
Butts went around a man, Agazio, now to the near side. Charlton lost it. Winning the puck, getting it out up top, shot on, save made, Norkovicus as Glavich had an opportunity from the high slot, put it on, but right there was Nathan Norkovicus.
Now that one hit Norkovicus right in the chest pad, right below where the C is for the Carrick Cougars. But as you mentioned, Indiana's really started to take control of this one, and I do think the Cougars are making some uncharacteristic plays. Really, how many times have they trailed throughout the course of the season? Very, very few moments that they've been behind in the game, and I think you mentioned there is certainly some frustration.
Quick outlet up ahead. Manuel brings it. He's out there with his brother. That's Anthony, who's with Nick, and Wolf is out there with them. They dump it in. It's an offside situation for Carrick, so they'll have to tag up. Swatsworth on the near side tried to get it out, but Eubanks stepped up and intercepted. Just over 2 minutes to play, 2:15 here in period number one. Manuel tried to glove it down, but it went right by him. Now they dump it in. Norkovicus will get the stick on it to delay it. Seen a slew of penalties here in period number one.
Yeah, 8 penalties between the two teams so far.
This arena comes to a bit of a silence here As Manuel skates on. Manuel goes around a man, walks it to the net, shoots, scores! Anthony Manuel ties the game at 1. A sensational move, bringing it across the blue line, and Carrick ties the game with 1:46 to play in the first period.
And that time you see the absence of Petro on that blue line as Manuel, as you mentioned, was able to walk in, put a move on the defenseman, and ultimately slide it far side to beat McElhaney to get the equalizer.
15-14 is the time of the goal. Anthony Manuel on the breakaway. Looked like he didn't get a whole lot on it. Did it, Sean? It looked like he kind of sent it low, but there wasn't a whole lot on it. He just beat the goaltender.
Assisted by number 23, Nicholas Manuel.
Nick Manuel with the lone assist.
Manuel from Manuel.
Here's Galavich. Galavich a shot on, nearly got it underneath the right arm of the goaltender Norkovikas, who's able to hold on.
And going back to your prior question as far as Manuel's goal and getting a lot on it or lack thereof, I think you're right about that, but a lot of times that could be a really dangerous shot and a hard one for the goalie to read is when you come in and you just slide it. Yeah, exactly. Just slide it along the ice because he had McElhaney moving from his right to his left and then decided to slide it low side on the far side of the goal.
Puck out to center ice, stepping up. Saka takes it. Saka walks in, delays. Couldn't get a good shot off. Now the net off the Mornings. Carrick turned around and put it in the net, but the net was off before the puck crossed the goal line, and it looks like McElhaney is injured here. McElhaney struggling to get back to his feet.
Yeah, no doubt.
That would be big because there's no backup goaltender for Indiana.
No doubt that, as it looks like we're going to get a penalty here on Indiana, no doubt that the net was off its moorings before that puck went in. So a good job by the officials right there to wave it off, but looks as though it's going to be
Roth. Andrew Roth went to the box.
And as you mentioned, McElhaney, his health certainly paramount as he's now back up, and he looks like he's going to be just fine. Although that nearly was an opportunity for the Cougars to get a late lead in this first period. By the way, Petro has come out of the penalty box, as has Granatire.
Number 19, Andrew Roth, 2 minutes for roughing. Time of the penalty, 15:44.
Power play chance here. Left side, shot on, rebound, they score! It's Manuel again on the doorstep, got the rebound off the shot by Spiker. He puts it in. Carrick just like that with 2 quick goals to take the lead.
And that time, McElhaney makes a great first save, but Manuel right there, and he's able to tap it in on the rebound. And after struggling with a 2-man advantage early, the Cougars show their potent power play here late in the period.
So Anthony Manuel is second of this contest. His 4th of the playoffs.
Remaining in the period, 1 minute. The Carrick goal, his second of the game, scored by number 21, Anthony Manuel.
Puck dropped in, Sokolsky came back.
Jacob Spiker, and number 35, James Unger.
Now Petro, right circle, shot got blocked by Macaron, shot back on, save Norkovikas, rebound attempt, save made by Norkovikas, a robbery on the doorstep as Barker had a great opportunity with the backhand, but Norkovikas got down to make the save, his biggest of the night so far.
Great job there on the rebound. I don't know how he saw the initial offering from the point, maybe he didn't, but he made that first save, and as you mentioned, he sprawls to take away the rebound opportunity. And now it seems like Carrick just as quickly, spurred by a opportunity because the best defenseman for Indiana was in the box initially to get that first goal, and then a man advantage goal has really taken command of this one.
Those goals coming just 41 seconds apart. Now Wolf will skate hard after it. He's dropping back is Petro to corral it in his own end. Petro trying to outlet, tried to avoid a big hit in center ice. Now Sokolsky off the near side board, stepping up though. Wolf tried to corral it, but went in and out. Now Wolf trapping down hard, a battle for it in the far side corner. It comes out to the high slot, dropping it. Manuel, look at the hat trick, it goes in! Manuel got rid of it. That puck did not go in the net.
Wow, the officials saying that is not a goal. I know it hit off the post.
Boy, I thought the puck clearly went and hit the back of the net.
It looked like it hit the post to the left of McElhaney. And I'm with you. I thought from our vantage point it went in, but there's two officials right there.
Trip Total Media is a proud sponsor of the Pennsylvania Interscholastic Hockey League.
No goal is the call.
They are going to discuss this, though. The officials coming to the near side. I'll tell you what, that sure did look like it hit the post and then went into the back of the net and then came right back out quickly. And they're going to talk about it here. If so, I believe it'll be Manuel's third goal, a hat trick here in the period, as that is the end of the first period. But the officials are discussing here. We're not going to break just yet. That one
looked like there was about 2.5 seconds left when that shot got through, so certainly it's not an issue of time remaining in the period.
There's a long discussion here from the officials on if that goal is going to count.
Maybe they'll be watching the video stream filmed by Don Rebel here too.
I thought Manuel got it through. It came through the equipment of the goaltender McElhaney, and this is a big call coming up here as these officials are taking a long time.
I think it's going to be hard for them to call a goal at this point. I mean, after they've already said it wasn't a goal.
And ended the period as well. Well, they are talking to Dom Galavich. All right, so no call. It looks like that it will stay no goal. We will take a break as we have played one period, 2-1. Carrick in the lead over Indiana here on the MSA Sports Network.
Own your piece of hockey history with a Penguins game-used jersey. Visit J&J Distributing at www.jjdistributing.biz and check out one of the largest selections of Penguin game-worn jerseys from your favorite Pens past and present. Or call them at 724-752-1556. J&J Distributing buys, sells, and trades some of hockey's most prized possessions, including the Penguins game-worn jerseys, Penguins practice jerseys, minor league jerseys, and new and game-used equipment. Browse their inventory today at www.jjdistributing.biz.
Make sure to follow the MSA Sports Network on social media this season for breaking news, scores, links to our articles, and much more. Like us on Facebook at facebook.com/MSA Sports and get in on the conversation with thousands of local sports fans. Follow us on Twitter at MSA Sports and check out our YouTube channel, MSA Sports WPIHL, for hundreds of video interviews with local student athletes, game highlights, and more. Whether it's Twitter, Facebook, or our websites, MSA Sports is the place to go for high school sports in Western Pennsylvania.
We start period number 2, and now we know what the long discussion was about. It was not to discuss the potential goal or no goal call. It was to assess a penalty to Anthony Manuel of Carrick. It is a clipping penalty on Manuel at the 17-minute mark of the period. So a early, very early, 2-minute power play here for Indiana as Manuel goes to the box.
And what a wild first period it was, huh? I mean, between the penalties and the disputed goal with just seconds left.
Puck comes out to O'Neill. O'Neill bringing it down the far side, tried to go around him and intercepted by Macaron. Macaron up the far side boards, attempted to drive it in, but it was cut off by Petro. Now up ahead is O'Neill. Gave it off to Lewandowski, but they're off sides as Lewandowski brought it across the blue line. $11 penalties in that first period, 3 goals, 1 by Luke Lewandowski of Indiana, and then 2 by Anthony Manuel, nearly a third. I'll be anxious to see the replay, and we can go back and watch that play later on tonight on the MSA Sports Network. On the near side, Glavich a shot on, hit a stick on the way through of Spiker, who then laid a check into him. Now Glavich, right point, winds up, fires, high shot, hit a man on the way through. I think it caught Manuel, or maybe O'Neill. I think it's O'Neill because he's skating kind of slowly away. Now Spiker back ahead. Spiker, the left wing, got rid of a shot, just missed McElhaney's right side.
I think he had some room there. McElhaney a little slow to react.
O'Neill, of course, McElhaney looked to be maybe a little banged up. O'Neill, a high shot, trying to sneak it over Norkovicus. And here's a pass intercepted. Spiker got a piece of it. Shots were 14-9 Indiana after one period. Norkovicus making 13 saves. Lewandowski off to Petro. 2-on-1, they bring it ahead. Petro into the right wing, shot on, and it's in the equipment of Norkovicus. No rebound available. Not a bad idea. He got Norkovicus offline a little bit, then fired one, just couldn't hit the open net on the near side after he got Norkovicus to bite.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if Petro was going to try to look to center a pass through the crease, or ultimately what he ended up doing, which was just fire a shot from a sharp angle, hoping that Norkovicus would be sliding over, but good job there by the netminder for Carrick to get the save and control the rebound as well.
Face-off comes to the right circle. Battle for it. Puck pops up in the air. Indiana trying to keep it in. Mulak does. Gets it off to Barker. Now to Boyer. Play on to the front of the net, but it's intercepted, and now it's dumped out. Manuel out of the box. Breaks down on the puck. Wolf will win it in the far corner. Wolf plays it behind the net to the near side. Manuel. Shot on from Agazio on the left point. Hit a skate on the way through. And that was Barker that got a piece of it. They're onside as they dump it in. It goes up into the chest protector of the goaltender, Norkovicus, and he will hold on with 14:39 to play here in period number 2. Carrick leading 2-1.
Looked like a missed chance there for the Little Indians. Maybe they're just out of gases. They had 4 players skating in. There was only 2 players back for the Cougars, although Carrick did have a player back checking, but just dumping that one on goal instead of trying to force the issue with numbers and try to tie this one up were the Little Indians. Now they're slow to get their 5th skater out there as well. There's a conference over in front of the Indiana bench. An official and a lineman over there.
Not sure what it was about. We've seen that a couple of times where Dom Galavich has talked with officials, and it's led to a bit of a delay. Don't know exactly what it's about, but it's happened 2 or 3 times now. There's a puck dumped in, and that'll go for an icing call, so it was not cleared to the red line.
Tell you what, they're talking to Coach Galavich a few times over the past week or so. He is a sharp hockey mind, and certainly if he sees something out there that he thinks might be potentially working in favor of the Cougars, he's going to point it out to the officials.
Face off to the right circle. Granatire against O'Neill. Carrick up 2-1. What's on the line? The Division II championship, as well as an undefeated season for a PIHL team. Undefeated, untied for the first time since 2009. Petro with it on the far corner. Couldn't outlet it, and then a shot came back on from Sokolsky. It went just wide. Agazzi on the near side was able to keep it in. Good hard skating there. Petro then in the far corner, got bumped by Macaron. Off to Granatire. Into the slot, came free. Agazio shot low, rebound. And Indiana's going to get to it. Clark, nicely done. Now Saka. Saka had it in his skates for a moment. They had Brandon Saka, but he didn't know where it was. Now it's stolen away. Granatire walks it in. Tried to deke around a man, but it was taken away. Now Saka skating hard. Indiana looks tired. Shot towards the net. Came through the net mouth to the near side. Agazio back on. Redirected in front by Saka. But a save made by McElhaney. Now here's a shot towards the net. Puck scrambled for in front. Macaron had a piece of it.
Mentioned Indiana looked tired. Not only that, but the Little Indians just not strong in the puck, although they were able to skate it out and get into the offensive zone quickly.
Counter back ahead. O'Neill into the far corner. Takes a bump by Sokolsky. Now Granatire comes in to help. Granatire wins the puck. Sends it up the far side boards to Petro, who gives a half slapper on. But a good save made by Norkovicus.
Yeah, Petro just trying to get something on goal, make Norkovicus make a save as he did. We got some Billy Joel playing here. I really like the music choice here. They throw in some 80s, which is obviously about 15 years before a lot of these players were even born. But
off the draw, here's a backhand attempt that got into the pads of Norkovicus. A great opportunity. Norkovicus right there got square to the puck. It was number 11, Tyler Barker, who got it on the backhand. And they don't hold back on the volume with the music playing in this arena either. They blast it. Big week for RMU.
His big victory last night. Yep. I think they're going to be in over their head maybe a little bit against Duke, but never know.
Spiker down the near side. Though what's happened today with a couple of 14s winning, who knows? Maybe they can keep it close. Boyer. It's the first day of March Madness. First official day. They had the first 4 earlier in the week. Round of 64 starting today. Here's Petro skating hard with it. Brings it in the left circle. Centered one, but skated away. Unger got a piece of that. Now it's a Lewandowski left point. Lewandowski takes a big hit on the far side as he lost the puck, and then sending it on the backhand is Eubanks all the way back down. That will not gain the goal line, so no icing. Out to the near side. Petro with it. Boy, Petro's everywhere, isn't he? Manuel dekes around a man. He's 1-on-2. Now he gives it up, looking for Wolf, but it'll be stolen away by Lewandowski, who gives it ahead to Petro. Petro, the defenseman, goes around through the man's skates and tried to drop it off to Swadsworth, stolen away. A 4-on-1 coming ahead, and it's Unger. Unger brings it up, tried to center one. Lewandowski went down and blocked it. They had a 4-on-1 for a second as Wolf got it in the slot, but couldn't get much on the shot. Now here's Lewandowski. This game's starting to finally open up a little bit. Lewandowski into the attacking zone, will drop it off. Under 12 to play in period number 2.
How about that defensive play by Lewandowski? A forward, the only man back.
Stolen by Glavich. Glavich intercepted a pass, got a shot off, but it hit a stick. Now here's a quick shot on by Roth and a save made by Norkovikas. That one surprised him. Some pushing and shoving here after the whistle. As I believe it was Roth that got bumped right onto the goaltender in Norkovikas.
Officials making sure none of the new skaters come out on the ice until this scuffle is broken up and everyone's back to their feet. But yeah, going back to that, as you mentioned, it was a 4-on-1. Actually ended up becoming a 4-on-2 because of one back-checking player for the Little Indians. But Lewandowski did what he did perfectly, which is take away the pass. You let your goalie have the shot, and you take away the pass. A sliding play defensively. Not only did he break it up, but he was the first man on the puck, was able to skate it out and led to a good chance the other way for the Little Indians.
Glavich takes the draw in the right circle, wins it back to Lewis. Mitchell Lewis dumps it in. Clark had it for a moment, but then it's intercepted. They try to outlet it to Macaron, but Petro took it. Petro now skates it behind his own cage, and he just lost an edge. Petro went down hard. Now a centering pass in front as Saka had it. He gets his stick tied up. Glavich in there battling for it. Petro back up to his feet. Now here they come back the other way. This is Glavich. Looks like his neck protector has come undone. It's flowing in the breeze. As the puck plays back out to center ice, Glavich will have to go off. And this one rolls all the way back down. And putting a glove on it will be Zane McElhaney.
As you mentioned, it looks like things might open up here. We've seen some odd man rushes in this second period. Both the goalies have come up big, but most recently, I think Carrick has had the better of the chances, and really the Cougars forcing the issue on the forecheck and making it difficult for the Little Indians to get the puck out of their defensive zone.
Face off to the left circle. Spiker tried to slap it off the draw forward. It came back out to the left point where Agazio tried to keep it in, but it's stolen by Roth. Roth brings it ahead, works it into the right circle, delays, shoots, save made, Norkovikas. They tried to go 5-hole, did Roth, but right there was Norkovikas to close the pads. Now Petro back in his own zone, skating well. Goes around a man. Petro putting on a show. Gets into the slot. Shot on, save. Norkovikas. Rebound attempt was on the doorstep. Right there was Dillian Butts, who couldn't put it in. The player goes down to the ice for Carrick. That was Sokolsky to block a centering pass. It's chipped back in. Spiker tied up with a man on the far side. Finally, at the half boards, Petro will come on. Pinches down and wins the puck, but then it's bounced off the boards. It'll roll all the way back down. Puck is on the edge, so it'll go all the way for icing. If that puck is flat, it probably stops up well short with 10:03 to play here in period number 2.
And Petro's done a great job skating, creating space for himself, making moves, showing his stick handling, but unfortunately for him, it doesn't seem like he's been able to get good lumber behind many of his offerings, as he's thrown a few on net, which is half-hearted, because he's been played well defensively by Carrick after he makes that initial man miss.
Anthony Manuel wanted ahead on the draw, came out to center ice. Here's Manuel, up to his brother Nick. Nick left it off for Anthony, but probably shouldn't have. He had a good, clean path to get it at least down and set up some sort of offense. Now Manuel. Anthony Manuel walks it in deep, shoots, save made. I think that McElhaney got a piece of that on the far side doorstep. Now dropping back is Nick Manuel. Well, Anthony Manuel really buzzing so far in this game. He has 2 goals, nearly came oh so close to a hat trick right there. He nearly had a hat trick at the end of the first period as well. Instead got a penalty called on him.
Yeah, he's been all over the place. That time he was able to put a move on Keegan Fulton Schuler and get to the net. I believe you're correct. McElhaney, from my vantage point, reached back. I don't know if it was with the glove or what, but it looked as though a lunging save just before that puck crossed the goal line.
Granatire will take the draw in the left circle for Carrick. Wins it back, but stepping up, nicely done there by Patrick O'Neill, who skates hard with the puck. O'Neill brings it ahead, goes around him and works it to the net. Got rid of a shot, might have hit the near side post.
I think that did catch a little bit of the pipe.
Now Granatire back the other way with Macarona, 2-on-1. Granatire walks it in, shoots a wrist shot, and it missed just wide on the far side.
Once again, textbook defense. That time Petro made sure the pass didn't get through, and as you mentioned, the shot sails over the goal, and it's going to lead to ultimately an icing against the Cougars.
This one will go for an icing call, as Sean mentioned. Alongside Sean Meyers, I'm Josh Rowntree. 9 minutes to play here in the Division II Championship right here on the MSA Sports Network. Carrick and Indiana. Great season of high school hockey coming to a close tonight, and then on Saturday for the state championship games, which we will be providing video for all 3 of the state championship games at Pegula Ice Arena in State College. O'Neill skating with it in the corner. Now works it and gets it right back. O'Neill in the right circle trying to go around Unger. Unger with that long reach just lays a shoulder into him, but O'Neill able to stay on it. Now centers one into the slot. Glavich had a backhand opportunity, but couldn't get a whole lot on it, and Norkovikas made the save.
Nice job just to get a stick on that one by Glavich. And when I saw this team in their earlier playoff tilt against Peters Township B, he was not at that game. He had other commitments for a club squad, but he's been impressive, and I think he clearly is their third option behind Lewandowski and Petra in terms of providing offense.
Lewandowski and Petro, who have played defense. I think Lewandowski is a guy that alternates. Petro is a constant defenseman. Here's one centered, and a battle for it. Puck came free. No one could get it for Indiana. Finally, they do win it. Out to Lewandowski. Shot on. Made its way through. Norkovikas made the save. No one was there to get the rebound. And now back the other way. Here comes Spiker down the right wing. Dangled it around Lewandowski. Spiker then laid a big hit into Lewandowski. Luke Lewandowski a bit slow to get up after that one. Ahead is Boyer. He takes a hip check by Agassios. This shot went wide. Now Boyer chases it down in the corner. Centered one. Did number 16, Ethan Boyer. And it'll go all the way back down as Carrick clears. Go for an icing call. Just under 8 minutes to play here in the second period. Carrick clinging to a 2-1 lead.
Josh, you mentioned Lewandowski back on the blue line on that last shift along with Petro. I think that's interesting that the Little Indians do that facing a deficit in this game. Obviously, if they have a lead and they want to protect it, Lewandowski, one of their best players, it makes sense to put him back there, but I think it's going to be a struggle to try to generate some offense with him back on the blue line.
Off the draw, shot on by Nick Fulton, and a glove on it for Norkovikas. Well, the good thing here is, too, we've played nearly 10 minutes in the period. We haven't seen a penalty yet. We had 11 of them in the first period. The game, I think, all the chippiness and the extracurricular stuff and the overly physical play has been taken out, and now we've seen some pretty good, clean, physical hockey.
Yeah, the players, they learned to adjust, and it took them a full period, but here in the second, they've changed their style of play, realizing that the officials are going to call this one tight.
Carrick was not a highly penalized team in the regular season. They had just over 230 penalty minutes on them, but in the playoffs, it's been a bit more of a problem. They've had over 50, and now here's a penalty coming up. This is going to be on Indiana. A head contact penalty, perhaps, here?
Dylan Butts put a few big checks on during that shift. Looks as though, is that Roth?
It is.
So as you mentioned, the first penalty actually called here in this period. There was one that came as time expired in the first period.
9:43, I believe, will be the time of the penalty. Tough to see
the
scoreboard here from our vantage point.
Usually the third number on the board, the Pacific second, is nearly impossible to see.
For illegal head contact and a 10-minute misconduct.
Oh, that's big.
Time of the penalty, 9:43. Roth, 2 for illegal head contact.
Head contact and a 10-minute misconduct for Roth. Here's Spiker. Spiker walks it on, wrist shot. McElhaney made the save. The rebound came free, but no one was there for Carrick. Carrick so far is 1 for 3 on the man advantage. As this one is dumped in, McElhaney will hold on. With 6:48 to play here in period number 2.
Big save there by McElhaney. As you mentioned, a rebound dropped in front of him. Couldn't corral it, but ultimately his teammates the first ones to skate to it and get the puck out of danger.
This will be Anthony Manuel to take the draw in the right circle. There's one back, though, for Indiana. Comes to the near side, and it looked like the puck went up and into the netting, perhaps, out of play.
They must have about 200 songs queued up and ready to play here. We get some Enter Sandman now.
Manuel against Boyer in the right circle. Anthony Manuel, 2 goals tonight, both of Carrick's goals. Off the draw, he tried to go forward. Pocket was picked, though, by Boyer, who sends the puck all the way back down. Minute 20 to play on the man advantage. A penalty to Andrew Roth. He will have to stay in the box for 10 minutes. Now bringing it ahead. This is Manuel. Manuel skating hard down the left wing. Centered one, came free to Macaron. I'm not sure he got it or not, or if a hit escape, but it went just wide of the cage. Agazio gave it back to Macaron on the near side half boards. High point, this is Agazio. Back to Macaron, they play catch. Macaron, cross ice, right circle, shot was fanned by Unger, and now walking ahead is Petro. Petro on a break, brings it ahead, forehand shot. It goes in! Petro, a shorty, ties the game at 2.
What a move by Petro. It looked like momentarily Norkovickas had made a miraculous save. The official took him about 2 seconds to realize that puck had just slid past, and Petro shorty ties it up. Tremendous move by the defenseman that shows his tremendous wheels and is able to finish.
Big short-handed goal. Just the 7th of the year for Indiana. And it comes from TJ Petro. It'll be his 3rd of the season. And now, off the draw, Glavich walks in, a shot on, and Norkovickas, a huge save. They nearly had 2 goals in about 5 seconds.
Time of the goal, 10:59. Petro, an unassisted, short-handed goal at 10:59.
Unassisted.
Yeah, it was Unger who had it in the right circle on the pass. It was a shot that he fanned on, and that allowed Petro to pick it up, walk it down the ice. And what a great move that he made, like you mentioned, going from the backhand to the forehand to beat Norkovickas. On the near side, O'Neal. Big hit behind the net as Glavich laid a shoulder into Agazio. But up ahead comes Spiker. Spiker had it taken away for a moment, then got it back.
Just going to be another penalty. Indeed it is.
Elbowing call. Elbowing on Indiana.
And it's going to be another abbreviated 5-on-3 now for the Cougars, at least for the next 21 seconds. They will be up 2 men.
This will be on Dom Glavich. It has been called close. There's no doubt about it. A penalty comes at the 11:22 mark of the period. It'll be 21 seconds of 5-on-3 hockey. A big chance for Carrick here to get that lead back.
2 minutes for elbowing. Time of the penalty, 11:22. Glavich, 2 for elbowing at 11:22.
Unger saw it go by his blade. He takes it at the left point. Drops it to Macaron. Macaron skates into the left circle, back up top to Unger. Unger glides to the high point, let go of a shot, hit a stick on the way through, went high over the net where Petro collects. Petro in a battle in the corner. Macaron, Granatire trying to fish the puck out of his skates. Finally, it does come free as Granatire tiring him up, and it comes to Boyer. Boyer will skate it ahead, and Manuel will intercept. There's Anthony Manuel brings it to the near side to Unger. Unger.
Player got drilled for the Cougars away from the play, and I think we're going to have I don't know if any of the officials saw what happened, but they're blowing the whistle just because that player could not get up.
Not much of a reaction from the Carrick bench, so I'm not sure. Maybe they didn't see it either, but Macarone, he is not feeling good as he skates back towards the play. He'll head off. Now he's going to stay on. Now Matt Maurice will say, no, get off the ice. Rest up for a second. Minute 10 to go in the power play. I'm sure Macarone would like to be out there for it, as it'll be Spiker to take the draw. Out there with Anthony Manuel and Granatire, Agazio, and now with the puck, Unger. Unger retreats into his own zone, hands it off to Agazio. Agazio fanned on a shot, got it to the near side to Manuel, then back to Agazio. He stumbled, nearly lost the puck. Barker skating hard on it. Now it comes free to Granatire. And now Manuel. Manuel on the far side, brings it to the right wing circle. Reverses it back up top to Unger. Now back off the skate of Manuel and stolen out of there by O'Neill. O'Neill ahead 1-on-2. Good reach by Unger to take it away. Spiker. And it knocked off his stick. 30 seconds to play on the man advantage. We're even at 2 on a shorthanded goal by TJ Petro. Sent all the way back down. Norkovicus will come out to play it as it was in and out of the right-handed glove of the defenseman Unger. Now Spiker on the far side. Carrick and Indiana in a battle here. 3:45 to play in the second period. Mitch Lewis intercepts, goes around a man to the right wing circle, brings it in front of the net, gets hammered as the puck came free, and they are going to call a penalty here.
Be a cross-check. Looked like a delayed call there as Lewis did a great job cutting across the goal mouth from a sharp angle, and he got absolutely buried from behind. And the penalty kill comes up big for the Little Indians, killing off the abbreviated 5-on-3, and then a good job with the traditional 5-on-4 penalty kill. Created a chance out of it, and now they will go to the man advantage, will the Little Indians.
Braden Agazio goes to the box at the 13:24 mark. An opportunity here for Indiana off the draw. Quick backhander on. Norkovicus made the save.
2 minutes for cross-checking. Time of the penalty, 13:24. Agazio, 2 for cross-checking at 13:24.
Needless to say, these last 3.5 minutes critical as these teams will be heading into the locker room for the intermission between the second and third periods. If you can get a late goal here, that just does so much to your momentum in that locker room.
Carrick is 1 of 5 on the man advantage. Indiana 1 of 4. This one will be dropped all the way back down, but Manuel skating hard after it. This is Nick Manuel. And now here they come back the other way. Carrick has 10 shorthanded goals on the season. Glavich into the left wing circle, got a shot off, save made Norkovicus.
Dangerous shot there by Glavich. Tough angle, but a good opportunity.
Now backdoor pass right there was Lewandowski. Couldn't hit it. Now a wraparound attempt. They wave it off. It went in the net, but the net was clearly off the moorings. And Lewandowski, he cannot believe it, but that is the right call. That net, just like it was earlier in the game, off the moorings. Remember that happened to Carrick earlier as well, and there it is for Indiana. That net off the moorings. Lewandowski on the wraparound. Looked like he snuck it in, but the net off.
Josh, let's go back about 5 seconds prior to that. I don't know if you saw it decisively. Did Norkovicus make a save on that backdoor pass to Lewandowski?
I believe he did.
If he did, that was absolutely spectacular. Very reminiscent of how Lewandowski got the first goal of this contest on the power play backdoor. I think the netminder for Carrick made a terrific save, and then, as you mentioned, the wraparound opportunity successful, but the net had already come off.
This one cleared out to center ice. 1:20 left on the man advantage. 2:50 in the period. A centering attempt stolen by Granatire. He has Macarone up ahead. Gets it to him. Macarone walks it in. Slap shot hit the post. Oh, boy, it rang off the near side post. That's a couple posts now for Macarone. Now back, shot on by Boyer. Hit a man on the way through. Unger lost it. Now a pass in front. Shot, they score! Tyler Barker from the slot gives Indiana the lead at 3-2.
And what a great pass to set up Barker as he found the vacated spot, was able to tap that one in. And once again, Indiana back in the lead. with a strong performance here in the latter stages of this second period. Remember, that came just about 30 seconds after the post shot on the other side, shorthanded opportunity by Carrick.
2:26 remaining in the period. 14:34 the time of the goal.
Scored by number 11, Tyler Barker. Assisted by number 10, Matt Swatsworth. And number 16, Ethan Boyer.
Boyer and Swatsworth with the assist, and Indiana with a couple of quick goals has reclaimed the lead. Topsy-turvy kind of game.
What a feat it was by Swatsworth to find him.
Anthony Manuel stole it away, got it ahead to Nick Manuel. The man for Indiana fell down, that was Charlton. Fell down in his own zone, lost the puck. Now comes out to center ice, dumped in on the backhand. Agazio will skate in after it, as Butts is there going for it as well. Manuel across, Wolf trying to get it. Now Sokolsky will take it away. Up ahead to Wolf. Carrick down 3-2. Wolf got bumped, got it to the near side to Nick Manuel. Behind the net where Lewandowski takes it away. Lewandowski dangling with it in his own zone. And he goes through three men. Here's Lewandowski up ahead. Walks it in, shot on, and they're going to get an offside call, I believe, here.
Some nice moves by Lewandowski, and starting to see some players really ripping his slap shots. We didn't see a lot of that in the early going, but now both ways, some of the better players for these squads really throwing some hard blasts on goal.
Ethan Boyer picked up his second assist tonight. A minute 10 to play here in period number 2. 3-2 is the score. Lewis got it up ahead to Glavich. Glavich walks in, a quick wrister, just went wide.
Yeah, he has a hard wrist shot.
1 minute remaining in the period. 1 minute.
Stepping back is Spiker. The near side, Lewis. Granitire plays it out of the zone. It'll be driven back in hard by O'Neal. Unger behind the cage with 45 to go in the period. Nifty skating there as he nearly lost it, did Unger. Now he'll bring it ahead. Big James Unger down the near side, walks in the left circle, high shot on, rebound attempt. Came free, but Glavich was right there to collect it after it hit a stick as Macaron was crashing hard, fired all the way back down, and it'll go for icing. So the faceoff will come to the Indiana end with 26.8 to go in period number 2.
Even though Unger was able to carry that one into the zone, saw a pair of forwards looking to try to sneak behind the defense of the Little Indians for Carrick. The Cougars looking for some of those maybe stretch passes that could lead to breakaways. That time Unger elected just to carry it himself. And as you mentioned, a key offensive zone opportunity with less than 30 showing in this second period.
Spiker off the draw, won it forward. Lewandowski on the backhand got it out of danger. Now out to center ice where Unger takes it away. He'll chop it back to the near side of the rink. All the way around to Petro on the far side. I'm not sure that Carrick has trailed at all this season after 2 periods. There's a shot on by Glavich and a save made with 4.9 left in the second period by Norkovicus. We've seen 3 power play goals and a shorthanded goal tonight. 3 special teams goals. 2 on the power play, 1 shorthanded for Indiana. Clock isn't going off the draw. And I think that'll bring us to the end of the period. They did not start the clock initially, and the official, I think, realized it was counting down on his own. So that'll bring us to the end of period number 2. Indiana comes back from down 2-1 to grab now a 3-2 lead over Carrick in the Division II championship game. We'll take a break. We come back. We'll bring you the Blade Runner scoring summary here from the 84 Lumber Rink at RMU's Island Sports Center. You're listening to the Division II PIHL championship right here only on the MSA Sports Network.
Attention all teenagers in the South Hills. If you need something to do on a Friday night, look no further than the TGIF Skate at the Mount Lebanon Ice Arena. Featuring a live DJ, big screen TV, special effects lighting, and games from 8 to 11, it's the place to be this winter. Mount Lebanon Ice Arena also offers an after-school skate for younger children, Fridays from 4:30 to 6 p.m., and a full range of instructional programs for all ages. For more information, call 412-561-4363 or visit mountlebanon.org.
The team at S-Mark takes great pride in the company they've built and their growing presence in Pittsburgh. Strong values, steadfast dedication, and unwavering commitment extends well beyond the walls of S-Mark facilities into virtually every facet of our local communities. From ongoing support for critical health and human services for families and children to youth sports and recreation programs. It's the many faces of S-Mark that touch lives, instill hope, and provide opportunities to enhance and enrich the world around us. S-Mark is proud to extend its support of local communities through its sports sponsorship with the MSA Sports Network.
Want to learn how to ice skate or play hockey like they do in the PIHL? Looking for a good place to throw that winter birthday party? If you answered yes, Blade Runners is the place to go for public or private skating sessions, plus learn to skate and learn to play hockey classes. And don't forget to check out PIHL game action at their 2 locations in Harmarville and Warrendale. For more information on ice time, class and game schedules, or party planning, visit their website at www.bladerunnersice.com. See you at the rink.
The history books are filled with the names of great athletes and great teams from Western Pennsylvania. They share stories of great victories and stunning defeats, but they all have one thing in common. They know the championship season is the time to be first. First Commonwealth Bank, proud sponsor of the WPIHL and the best high school athletes in Western Pennsylvania. First Commonwealth, time to be first.
Life is about having the confidence to know you can do anything, right? I get that at Carlo.
I graduated with top awards, but beyond the classroom, Carlo helped me learn a lot about myself.
Carlo brings out the best in you.
I know I'm going to be a fantastic nurse.
I know whatever I come across, I'll be prepared.
I can't think of a better place to start the rest of my life, because at Carlo, I know I matter.
I matter.
I matter.
Enroll at Carlo University. Visit carlo.edu.
UPMC Sports Medicine is the region's largest and most experienced center dedicated to caring for athletes of all levels. And as we celebrate more than 25 years of world-class care, we're proud to offer more services, have more physicians, and treat more student athletes than any other sports medicine provider in the region. Why would you choose to go anywhere else? To learn more, call 1-855-93-SPORT or visit upmcsportsmedicine.com.
Own your piece of hockey history with a Penguins game used jersey. Visit J&J Distributing at www.jjdistributing.biz and check out one of the largest selections of Penguin game-worn jerseys from your favorite Pens past and present. Or call them at 724-752-1556. J&J Distributing buys, sells, and trades some of hockey's most prized possessions, including the Penguins game-worn jerseys, Penguins practice jerseys, minor league jerseys, and new and game-used equipment. Browse their inventory today at www.jjdistributing.biz. When looking to replace your athletic field, choose ProGrass, first in turf. ProGrass has installed over 500 fields in the U.S. Getting the best artificial turf for your field depends on both the product and the partner you choose. That's why architects, athletic directors, and players choose the ProGrass Performance System. ProGrass maintains an active presence in the synthetic turf industry as members of the Sports Turf Management Association and the American Sports Builder Association, and is proud to be recognized as the FIFA preferred manufacturer. Call ProGrass today, 866-270-6003, or visit them on the web at www.progressturf.com. ProGrass, first in turf.
All right, back here on the MSA Sports Network, after 2 periods of play, it is Indiana 3, Carrick 2 in the Division II championship game here from the Island Sports Center at Robert Morris University alongside Sean Meyers. I'm Josh Rowntree. Sean, very competitive hockey in this early going. Early in the game, I thought very physical. Once we kind of got more of a flow of the game, that second period, I thought the ice opened up a little bit more, and that actually worked to Indiana's advantage. They were able to get a couple of goals. First, the goal by Petro, the shorthanded goal, and the goal by Barker. But very physical play so far. We've seen a number of penalties so far. By my count, 15 of them in this game. And we kind of knew it was going to be physical coming in, but I think maybe a couple too many mistakes penalty-wise by both teams have hurt them.
And no surprise with all those penalties. We've seen 4 of the 5 goals scored in this contest on specialty teams, but it had been even in terms of play, I think, for the early part of that second period, but the last 8 or so minutes really worked in favor of the Little Indians, especially after they got that shorthanded tally that really, I thought, came out of nowhere. Tremendous play by Petro showing off his speed, and from then, Indiana really started to take over. We heard the shot total in that second period, a little shocking. 9 once again for Carrick, 22 for Indiana, which means they're doing a great job generating shots. Maybe not all high quality, but right now they're certainly testing Norkovicus, and it reflects on the scoreboard as well as it's now 3-2. 2 unanswered in that second period by India. As you mentioned, the penalty is critical. The physical play has been throughout, and for a while it looked as though the players were starting to adjust and stay out of the penalty box, but those penalties came to the forefront again later in that second period, and ultimately that favored the Indians.
Unless something happens, it's just mind-boggling. I believe this will probably be the first time all year that Carrick has been outshot in a hockey game. They are used to having that shot total flipped, where they're the ones that are doubling up their opponents, and that just goes to show how well Indiana has played. On the forecheck, they've been very good creating turnovers, getting some good looks, got some rebound opportunities, and really their pressure overall has resulted in them getting 3 goals here and 36 shots to go with it. Let's take a look at the Blade Runners scoring summary, brought to you by Blade Runners in 2 locations at Harmarville and Warrendale. Slew of penalties in the first period and to start the game. We saw a total of 6 penalties to start the game that came in the first 8 minutes and 46 seconds, but finally a penalty to Vince Macarone for high sticking would put Carrick in the box. It was a 5-on-3 situation after Unger went as well, and at 10:05 Luke Lewandowski would light the lamp, a power play goal. That made it 1-0. Indiana grabbed the early lead. Ethan Boyer and Andrew Roth got the assist. Good passing. Boyer sent it from the right circle right down to the doorstep on the left side, where it was Lewandowski who was able to put it home. Not too long after that, though, Carrick would tie it. Just over 5 minutes later, Anthony Manuel would score to even the game at 1 apiece. He would get set up by his brother Nick on a breakaway. He walks it in, gets a shot to go by the goaltender. It was a low shot that snuck by the goaltender in Zane McElhaney, and that tied the game at 1-1. And then just a mere 41 seconds after that, Manuel again gets his second of the game, this time on the power play after Andrew Roth went to the box. And Roth was serving a minor for cross-checking, and that set up Manuel for his second of the game. And second in a matter of 41 seconds. A spiker, a shot from the left point, got through, hit a leg. Something caused it to go to the near side net mouth. And right there was Manuel to put the puck in, making it 2-1. Carrick, Unger, and Spiker picked up the assist. Manuel will go to the box with the 17-minute mark of the period. That would be cleared. We'd go to the second, the 10:59 mark after playing 2-1 for quite a while. And at the 10:59 mark of the period, TJ Petro shorthanded on a shot that was fanned on the right side by Unger. Petro picks it up, walks it in, goes backhand, forehand, is able to get it by the goaltender and Norkovicus to tie the game at 2-2. That was a huge goal. It really swung the momentum Indiana's way. Then with the 14:34 mark, Tyler Barker, another power play goal for Indiana, their second of the game, as he gets set up by Matt Swatsworth and Ethan Boyer. Great pass right to the middle, and burying a shot is Barker to make it 3-1 at the 14:34 mark. And that's where we stand. Shots 36-18. That is your Blade Runner scoring summary, brought to you by Blade Runners in Harmarville and Warrendale.
Yeah, I really like the response, as you mentioned, by Indiana in that second period. First, it was Petro out of nowhere, the shorthanded tally, and then the Indians really started to take over, and then Barker got that power play tally. All 3 goals from Indiana coming on specialty teams, as you mentioned, Josh. 2 on the power play, 1 shorthanded. Conversely, Indiana's also given up a power play tally to Carrick. But looking at this third period, I think it's going to be a back-and-forth battle, and wouldn't be shocked if we maybe get 4 or 5 goals between these 2 teams, or if it's just a defensive contest, because certainly those are assets that both these teams possess. Great defense, great offense. Obviously, the goaltending has been up to the task for these teams as well. But right now, Indiana really in the driver's seat, and I think the Little Indians are going to come out clearly with momentum on their side after their strong finish to that second period.
Carrick maybe a little bit jittery at times in this game. Certainly this is a team that's not used to being down in games, but after their last two games, very close ones against Harbor Creek and then earlier in the week against Meadville, certainly they're used to it by now with this last week of play, but this is not a team that has trailed maybe at all going into a third period, and we'll be interested to see how they come out and play here in this third with obviously a lot on the line, an undefeated mark, and of course the championship just 17 minutes away potentially for one of these teams.
Yeah, the Cougars certainly had a lot to prove entering this postseason. As you mentioned, this is the first year of Division II. It's a little bit different. There's a B classification, a C classification. Because the Cougars played in C, they basically got what turned out to be the 10th seed. A seed. Yeah,
there were 7 teams from B and then 3 from C that made it, so they got the 8th seed technically in the tournament.
Which means that their quarterfinals matchup was against number 1 seeded team, and that was an opportunity to prove that they belonged. The Cougars did that with a narrow victory, and certainly there was a lot of people that doubted them going in this one, so I think there's the same situation right now as they have to prove that they are the best team, that undefeated mark is certainly indicative of the type of team they are. And you mentioned they don't face a lot of adversity, but when you have the talent and the players that have had this much success, there's a reason for that success, and I think we will come out and see a response from the Cougars here. It's up to the Indians to try to fend off what you figure could be a furious comeback effort from Carrick.
Zane McElhaney at times maybe seemed a little bit shaken up. It looked like on the one play where he got run into, he was a bit slow getting up. I want to see how he responds here, too. I think for Carrick, they got to throw some shots to the net. You got to hope for some rebounds, some dirty goals. Carrick scores a lot of goals by a very pretty way, meaning that, they like to skate around guys, breakaways.
Doesn't happen too much in the playoffs. So.
Right, and particularly against a team like Indiana. They don't give up a ton of looks like that. So, you got to go and get dirty here. You got to get gritty. You got to get to the front of the net, get some opportunities, just like they did on the second Manuel goal, where he just went to the front of the net, got a rebound, and was able to put it in. I think you're going to need a couple more of those here if you are Carrick the rest of the way.
Yeah, you mentioned traffic in front, maybe redirections, deflect shots coming from the point. If not, at least be there to try to pound home a rebound, as we've already seen a rebound goal from the Cougars in the form of Manuel's second in this one. That was with the man advantage. Just do the same thing when you get into the offensive zone at 5-on-5. And the other big question, how will these specialty teams shake out here in the third period? They've been so critical in the goals so far in this one. Which team will do a better job staying out of the box, or if there is a power play or shorthanded opportunity, which team will take more advantage of that?
We have about 2 minutes to play until the start of period number 2. Both teams still in their locker rooms. We'll take a quick break. We come back, we'll bring you the puck drop here from the Division II Championship, RMU's Island Sports Center. You're listening to it right here on the MSA Sports Network. After 2 periods of play, it's Indiana 3, Carrick 2.
The team at S-Mark takes great pride in the company they've built and their growing presence in Pittsburgh. Strong values, steadfast dedication, and unwavering commitment extends well beyond the walls of S-Mark facilities into virtually every facet of our local communities. From ongoing support for critical health and human services for families and children to youth sports and recreation programs. It's the many faces of S-Mark that touch lives, instill hope, and provide opportunities to enhance and enrich the world around us. S-Mark is proud to extend its support of local communities through its sports sponsorship with the MSA Sports Network.
The history books are filled with the names of great athletes and great teams from Western Pennsylvania. They share stories of great victories and stunning defeats, but they all have one thing in common. They know the championship season is the time to be first. First Commonwealth Bank, proud sponsor of the WPIHL and the best high school athletes in Western Pennsylvania. First Commonwealth, time to be first.
Alongside Sean Meyers, I'm Josh Rowntree here at RMU's Island Sports Center. 3-2 is the score. Indiana in the lead in search of their first championship in school history, while Carrick is doing just the same. Carrick appeared in the 2006 championship game at Mellon Arena, where they lost to State College 5-3. A couple of the assistants on Carrick's team now were on that team then, and for Indiana, it's again been a dry spell for them too, never winning a championship. They did play in 2012. I was here at that game at RMU, and it was 5-4 the final score. Quigley won in overtime. They were oh so close a number of times in that game, I remember, to sealing the deal and winning the championship. Could not do it against a very talented Quigley team. So both teams trying to get that elusive title back to their respective schools.
First ever Division II championship. It previously was the open class, as we mentioned, and some changes, and I think for the most part it's worked out pretty well. I mean, that 1-8 between Harborview and Carrick, that was kind of unfortunate that had to happen so early, because those are two of arguably the three best teams all season long. But I think it's certainly, we have a competitive game here, and that's all you can hope for, is the championship game turns out to be a good one, and at least through 34 minutes, that's what we've seen.
So again, if you're joining us late, it'll be Carrick in the blue and yellow, the white helmets, Indiana with the white jerseys, black pants, and black hats with the red trim.
Interesting note, I was overheard some fans a few nights ago. I was covering the Blairsville girls game. What a winter season it's been for Indiana County sports. When you look at the Indiana boys winning the basketball championship, and then both the boys and girls from nearby Blairsville and District 6 winning their district championship, and now an opportunity potentially for the Indiana boys hockey team here to bring home more gold for the Little Indians. It's really been a tremendous couple of weeks in Indiana County.
All right, so Spiker will take the draw for the Cougars opposite Glavich. 5-on-5. Let's see how long he'll play like that. Petro behind his own net. Over to the far side. Shot on by Unger. Hit a stick on the way through. Tracking it down is Spiker. Tried to center one on the backhand. Not out of the zone as Unger was able to keep it in. Unger now to the near side, right in front of the Rowdy Rooters from Indiana, their student section. Unger behind the cage. Took a bump. Came up the far side boards. Out to Spiker. Half slapper on. Hit a leg. Now coming free with it down the near side is Glavich. Glavich a high shot. And that one missed. Now back behind the cage where Eubanks couldn't get to it. Macaron laid a big hit into a man, then Petro took it away. Petro's shot hit a leg on the way through. It was Unger that got in front of that one. Good opportunity, though, for Petro. And now it comes free to Spiker. Spiker ahead of potential 2-on-1. Spiker down the right side, gave it over, and right there was Granatire. He couldn't collect the puck. It was a saucer pass that was just a little bit too high. Now Spiker comes back and makes a steal in the neutral zone. He has a lot of jump, brings it to the front of the net, got it to the forehand, but couldn't turn it around to get the shot off in time. Granatire in the near side corner. Carrick with a lot of jump here to start this third period. Far side, and a whistle comes. Net is off the moorings, back behind the play.
Probably came at a pretty good time there for the Little Indians. As you mentioned, the Cougars have come out and really had a nice surge here in the opening minute and 18 seconds of this third stanza.
Face-off comes to the left circle. It'll be Anthony Manuel to take it. Nick Manuel and Tyler Wolf are out there as well. Manuel tied up on the draw, then went hard to the ice, and Lewis takes it away for Indiana. Reverses it behind his own net, then reverses it again over on the far side corner. Delays behind his cage. Bit of a forecheck being applied here as Manuel stepped up, nearly got the steal. Then it came up to Barker. Barker, the go-ahead goal in this game. It was for Barker, just his 11th goal of the year, his first point of the postseason. Now here's Anthony Manuel. He gets ridden into the far side boards. Petro on the near side. Turned out with it, tried to get it to Swatsworth. It was stolen away by Nick Manuel. Dropped it off to Wolf. Behind the cage. Anthony Manuel going after it, but Petro stepped up, slammed his stick, and took it away. A rush back, but it's intercepted by Sokolski. Manuel lost control of it, but it comes right back to Nick. Nick Manuel ahead to Granatire. Down the near side, Granatire shot on, it's a wrister. And it's going to go into the glove of Zane McElhaney.
And even though Carrick had some good opportunities here in the third period, haven't been able to generate any great shots on goal. That time an easy save by McElhaney. He holds on to force the defensive zone faceoff for the Little Indians.
Spiker will take the draw in the right circle against Glavich, who won it back. Far side, Unger keeps it in. Unger walks it in the left circle, tried to center one. Came free to Spiker. Spiker shot on, went wide. Came free to Unger. Turn around, it's loose in front. Hammering away at it is Carrick, but it comes out to Eubanks. Over to Unger. Unger shot on, hit a stick on the way through and went wide. Now on the near side, Eubanks kept it in. Floated one towards the cage. Granatire took it, and then he lost it. Now Freely skating out of the zone and then getting upended on the near side. Eubanks took out Lewandowski.
Looked like a textbook hip check there by Eubanks.
Yep, absolutely. That was as clean as it comes.
There's no room for Lewandowski to skate. He ran into the boards or Eubanks. He had his choice. He picked Eubanks and paid the price.
Look at Macaron skating free in the neutral zone. Got around a couple of guys, but then ultimately lost it. And it'll be dumped back out to center ice where Unger will step up. Now Macaron. Macaron tried to go through a legs. He's 1-on-3, and he gets hammered as he tried to split the D. And that gives it to Petro. Petro up ahead. Wrist shot on. Glove save made by Norkovicus.
Petro is absolutely incredible. The only criticism I have, it doesn't seem like he gets much velocity behind many of his shots. We saw his beautiful breakaway goal. Don't need much velocity when you're only about a foot away from the cage, but when he comes into the zone, seems like some of his shots really flutter on goal. That time a pretty easy save with the glove for Norkovicus.
13:35 to play. Face off in the right circle. That'll be one forward by Butts, but then it came free to Nick Manuel. 2-on-2, they come ahead. Manuel on the far side has Wolf crashing hard to the cage. Put it behind his back and then try to get it to Wolf behind the cage, but Wolf had stepped out and Lewandowski intercepts. Now Wolf on the forecheck is able to steal the puck away. In the corner, back behind to Anthony Manuel. Tried to center it out to Wolf. Anthony Manuel still on the puck hard here, but it comes out and will clear out of the zone. Comes free to center ice, and then offsides will be whistled on the Cougars.
And on that last shift, Lewandowski dropped back to the blue line once again. Now this is where I think you're going to see him more frequently in his third period is playing defense because his team is clinging to that one-goal lead. Safe to say that Lewandowski and Petro are going to be playing the vast majority of this third period for the Indians.
Off the draw, it's one ahead to Anthony Manuel, looking for the HT. Goes into the corner, Wolf trying to collect it, but again, Indiana able to get to the puck and get it out of their zone. Sokolski on the near side, gave it up. Stolen by Petro. He walks it into the high slot, then loses the puck, got it back, centered one. Had a man crashing in front. That was O'Neill. Couldn't get enough on the puck. Far side, Manuel saw it go by his stick. Will be funneled back in to the Carrick zone. Stolen away for Indiana. They take it. Butts walks out in the left circle. Gives it off. O'Neill, a turning shot, hit the bar. Oh my. Now another wrist shot on, save made by Norkovicus. Granatire tries to clear it out of there. They're not able to, though. A Spiker skated right by it. Then a shot hit a stick, went high of the cage over Norkovicus, and then it came free to Granatire. Granatire on the backhand, got it ahead. This is Spiker. Spiker with Macaron. Tried to float one up to the front of the net, and a glove save made by the goaltender, Zane McElhaney.
That's not an easy one for McElhaney as that puck was coming in and high from the sky, and you had a couple players skate in front of it. Sometimes the goalies lose their focus. He was able to track that one all the way, gets the draw. But just prior to that, Indiana with a nice surge in the offensive zone, some sustained pressure, able to get a few good opportunities.
Saka in the left circle against Boyer. One forward. Comes out to Unger. Unger let go of a low shot. Wasn't much on it and got intercepted. And here is Barker. Barker right now has what, if it holds, would be the game-winning goal. Unger gave pressure on the far side. Saka stepping up as well. Came out to the right point. Low shot on. Hit a stick on the way through to the near side corner. Now to Sean out there. Rare shift for number 22, Camden to Sean. Out to center ice. Puck off his stick. It'll go all the way back down. Unger. Nice little deke move to win the puck. And then he goes off the boards. Unger skating strong up ahead. Got hooked a little bit, no call. Wrist shot on, save made by McElhaney. Now in the corner. And are they going to get that call? They are. It's going to be a hooking call. I didn't see the arm go up initially, but I thought that was a hooking call coming through the neutral zone on Unger, and that's going to be against number 11. That's Tyler Barker.
Yeah, Unger really just skating with great vision and speed, able to generate that offensive chance, and as you alluded to, draw the penalty to put his team up in terms of the man advantage.
The call is hooking, comes at the 5:50 mark.
Indiana penalty.
Carrick is 1 of 5 on the man
Parker.
advantage. This is their 6th chance.
Time of the penalty, 5:50.
Spiker
Parker, 2 for hooking.
lost it.
5:50.
Petro took it away and then banked it off the near side boards all the way back down to Norkovicus. Unger takes it behind the cage, leaves it off for Anthony Manuel. Out there with Spiker and Macaron. The forwards. And it'll be banked all the way back. Granatire out there as well. And Unger, who has the puck now, works it into the right circle. Unger tried to get it on the backhand. Centered one. It was Manuel. Got the backhander off, but it bounced just wide. And Indiana will corral it and clear it all the way back down. Norkovicus will come out to play it.
As you mentioned, a point-blank opportunity that just missed the cage there for the Cougars.
Unger left it off, shot on, went just wide. Now Unger behind the cage, turns, fires, save made by McElhaney. Unger kind of reminds me of a defenseman version of Evgeny Malkin, just the long reach that he has, the way that he skates, it's very similar. I mean, obviously, I'm not necessarily making a direct comparison. But
he's not quite that caliber yet.
Right, certainly not, but the way that he skates is very similar given his size. He's a terrific skater, particularly for a defenseman, a guy that big.
Yeah, he looks to be one of the most dangerous players on either side right now as McElhaney repairing his pad. The officials obviously going to allow him plenty of time to do that, but so far, as you mentioned, he really has been dangerous in this third period as he does go to the bench. Now 55 seconds remaining in this man advantage. One thing to keep an eye on here, Indiana is incredibly dangerous shorthanded. We already saw Petro with his tally. He's still out there trying to see if Lewandowski is out there as well. But either one of those players can create chances where it doesn't seem like there's much room. The last thing the Cougars can afford is to allow Indiana to gain a 2-goal advantage here. And you'll see the importance of face-offs on this draw.
Indiana's been very good on the draw tonight. That's one area they have certainly excelled in tonight. They have been great on the face-offs, but this one is won by Carrick. Spiker behind the cage. Spiker works it all the way out to the left point. Out there with Agazio now. Spiker brings it to the right circle, winds up, fires a wrist shot. It was a heavy one. It went wide. Won by Agazio. Off to Nick Manuel. Second power play unit out here for the Cougars. Wolf brings it into the left circle, up top to Agazio, who nearly skated by it. That could have been dangerous. Now Nick Manuel in the corner, on the backhand, tries to center one out, but it came to Agazio. Agazio back to Wolf. Wolf gets knocked down from behind. Agazio steps up, fires, hit a man in front of Wasaka that had hit. And Indiana will clear it out with under 10 to play on the man advantage. Here is Spiker. Lost control of it. Glavich took it, launched it all the way back down. Norkovicus will stop it and then try to send it back out, but it's stolen away. Intercepted by O'Neal. O'Neal skating through the zone, got free shot, score! Patrick O'Neal after the giveaway by Norkovicus. Collects it and buries it. It's 4-2 Indiana. A costly mistake by Norkovicus. And O'Neal again is third of the playoffs. Gives Indiana a 2-goal lead.
And Josh, when we talked to head coach Dom Glavich before this game, he highlighted O'Neal. And O'Neal with an absolutely incredible goal. Won't count as a shorthanded goal, but the big thing is the penalty kill led directly to that chance for O'Neal as he skated around. And what a shot to roof that one over Norkovicus.
Unassisted goal makes it 4-2, and that could be a big one.
Scored by number 17, Patrick O'Neal.
Far side, big hit as Granatire went down. There's going to be a penalty on Indiana. Unassisted goal as Eubanks got tripped on the near side and went down hard. Now some pushing and shoving after the whistle. I actually think here there were, I'm not sure if they're going to call the extracurricular stuff, but I thought there were 2 penalties on Indiana that could have been called. They're going to get the one, and I thought there was maybe one on Carrick too on the late hit.
Looks
they're going to send Glavich.
Yeah, Glavich that's going to go to the box.
8:18 the time of the penalty to Dom Glavich. Face off in the right circle. Manuel wins it forward.
Penalty number 8, Dom Glavich. 2 minutes for interference.
Interference the call.
Penalty 8:18. Glavich 2 for interference at 8:18.
Centering pass goes all the way out to center ice. Really, the story is becoming this PK unit of Indiana. They have killed 5 of the 6, now on their 7th PK.
Not only killed 5 of 6, but also have a shorthanded goal. And as we mentioned, that last one by O'Neill coming just seconds after Indiana went back to even strength.
Unger skating with a lot of speed, but gets a shot off and a save made by McElhaney.
McElhaney, Josh, you said you were interested to see how he played in his third period. He has been strong.
No doubt.
That time wasn't necessarily a hard save, but the critical thing was he was able to control the rebound.
Manuel takes the draw in the left circle. Wins it back. Spiker on the backhand. Drops it to Granatire. Granatire in the corner, skates out with it. Into the right circle. Lost control of it. Unger will chip it over into the corner to Lewandowski, though, who takes it. He'll try to play it up the far side boards. Now Granatire. Off to Unger. Unger shot through, save made by McElhaney. One thing, it looks like Carrick maybe gripping the sticks a little bit here. They obviously are not used to trailing, especially down by 2 goals as we approach the late portions of this game.
But the big thing is there's still plenty of time left, even though there's still less than 8 minutes remaining. All it takes is 1. Even if you get that with 2 or 3 minutes left to really put the pressure on Indiana and lead to a furious finish. So right now, you don't have to rush anything.
There's a steal. They work it out in front on the doorstep. Manuel had it right in front. Save made by McElhaney, and Granatire couldn't get the shot off. 45 seconds to play on the man advantage. Anthony Manuel dangles, shoots, misses wide. Comes out to Unger at the left point. Crosses over to Spiker. Spiker delaying. Cross-ice pass into the left circle. Went by Macaron. And then it'll be taken away. Intercepted by Unger on the clear-out attempt by Indiana. Unger skating in the neutral zone. Drops it off to Spiker, but it went by him. Carrick just seems a bit out of sorts right now. I mean, even the easy passes, they're finding some troubles making them. Ahead, Spiker, left circle, shot on. It's right into the chest protector of McElhaney.
Josh, between the second and third period, we highlighted getting pucks to the net for Carrick, but also getting traffic in front, making it hard for McElhaney to see the initial shot. So far in his third period, he's been able to see things pretty cleanly, and he's controlled the rebounds. No second chance opportunities for the Cougars. Just 10 seconds remaining in this man advantage now for Carrick.
Sacco will take the draw. In the left circle against Boyer. Indiana under 7 minutes away from their first championship and a noteworthy first ever Division II championship victory. First time this game has ever been played. Glavich up ahead. Worked around a man as Agazio was crashing on. Boyer trying to steal it. Gets it up to Saka. Saka feeds Wolf. Right now, the defense of Indiana cannot say enough about how well they have played on the back line. Petro out there. Here's one at the side of the net. They try to jam it. Won't go. Saka waiting. No one there. Now Boyer. 6 minutes to go. Comes out to Sokolsky, who let go a big slapper, but it went just wide. And then it's outletted up to Boyer. Sokolsky trying to get back. Boyer walks it in, tries to go around him. It came to Norkovickis, who then was able to knock it to the far side, and some pushing and shoving after the whistle as Sokolsky got tied up with Boyer. Net came off the boring Sokolsky, gave him a couple extra pushes. This is not a good time to pick up a penalty like that. If you are number 55, Jacob Sokolsky, he will not get charged with anything, but little extracurriculars there.
Thought it could have been a penalty on Indiana, actually. It led to that chance saw a pretty big slash on the stick. The stick did not break. Usually if the stick does break, it's an instant penalty call for slashing, but that almost directly led to that chance for the Little Indians. Fortunate for them, the official did not make the call.
Off the draw. Winning it is Carrick. They'll move it up ahead. This is Spiker. Spiker went in 1-on-2, knocked a man down, got it back, threw it off the side of the net. Comes out to Unger at the left point. Unger waits, shot one, hit a man on the way through. That was Boyer who went down to block it. Behind the cage, walking out, centering one right on the doorstep was number 46, Garchuk. Now here's a big drive. Save made by McElhaney. Eubanks shot on, didn't get a lot on it. It's intercepted. We approach 5 minutes to go. And of course, Indiana's boys basketball team winning a championship. The hockey team trying to match them here. Right side, Petro, shot, save made. You mentioned the year that the county has had up there. It's potentially going to get even better with a hockey title coming back for the first time. So we're under 5 minutes to go. It's a 2-goal game. And
you could tell that these fans have been there whole season for Indiana. I saw their game up at the S&T Bank Arena against Peters Township. Great hometown support, and it's carried over here to Neville Island.
Unger in his own zone, reversed it to the far side. Eubanks stepped up, banked it off the far side boards. Well, we talked to Dom Glavich, the head coach of the Little Indians, before the game. He said, we're going to come out and trap from the very beginning, and we're going to make them play some ice hockey. Those were his exact words. And that's exactly what they've done. They've trapped. They have just bottled up the neutral zone. And what Carrick likes to do of getting quick opportunities, those have been few and far between for what they're used to.
And Josh, I haven't been doing as long as you have, but I could tell you the coaches I've talked to, Coach Dom Glavich seemed to be as sharp as anyone. He's very articulate, and he tells you right before the game what his game plan is, and if his team's able to execute it, most likely they'll win. Thus far, it's looking pretty good for the Little Indians here.
A couple of very good and very different, in a way, coaches. As this is turned over, Macarone walks out, shot on, save made by McElhaney. Of course, Dom Glavich, a father and coach, a guy that's been around a long time, and on the other side, Matt Maurice, who played at Carrick. His brother played at Carrick as well. Young coach in just his third year. Lewandowski up ahead. Brings it back to the red line, and then we'll dump it in. Under 4 minutes to play. Time starting to become a serious factor here for the Cougars. They can't get it out. Now they finally do with Unger. Unger skating well. Unger goes around a man, works it down. Centered one, came free. Granatire there, couldn't get a shot on it as Boyer knocked it down. Boyer was stickless, then he kicked the puck up ahead. Petro with it, tries to bank it out of the zone. Came free. Manuel gave it off. Shot, Macarone, save made. Net is off the moorings with 3:29 left.
I think Boyer took a stick to his face from one of his own teammates, but as you mentioned, he made the play without the stick to kick up the boards. Couldn't get it out. Led to a really good chance for Carrick, and now you're starting to see a little bit of frustration as Macarone slams his stick to the ice as he heads to the bench. As I mentioned, still about 3.5 minutes left. Plenty of time here. All the Cougars need to do is get one to make it a very interesting finish.
Off the draw, Spiker won it forward, but Petro steps up and banks it all the way down. Chasing hard after it, but it'll go for icing as O'Neal couldn't get to it.
And now one of the questions becomes, at what point, if you still trail by 2 goals, do you pull the netminder if you're the Carrick Cougars? And we've seen in the NHL, teams starting to get a lot more brazen in terms of pulling the goaltender with 2.5, almost 3 minutes remaining. Certainly I don't think that's going to be the case here with Carrick. They'll probably want to wait till at least about the 2-minute mark, but it's always an interesting decision for a head coach.
Off the face-off, Wolf played it back, got it to Sokolsky, low shot, Spiker at the near side of the net, couldn't direct it on the cage. Carrick, one last push here, trying to bring themselves within 1 goal. As you mentioned, 1 goal makes this game very interesting. Sokolsky on the near side, lost it for a moment, but Agazio got it. Then it's stolen away for Indiana on the near side boards. Glavich brings it ahead. Glavich down the left wing, Wolf gets a stick on the puck. I'll go all the way behind the net where Wolf plays it up to Nick Manuel. And finally, it'll be outletted to Wolf. Wolf had it in between his skates and got it over. Spiker, backhand shot, save made McElhaney. Sokolsky lifts it off the near side. Glass. Wolf behind the play. Spiker's played very well tonight, but does not have a goal to show for it. Does have an assist.
That time McElhaney just able to hug the post, realizing there's going to be a sharp angle opportunity for Carrick.
Puck bounces up in the air as we approach 2 minutes to play. Now Carrick and Matt Maurice have to start thinking about when you get your goaltender out down by 2 here. Granatire saw it go by him. Granatire on the near side board tried to collect one and poke it in, but couldn't turn it around in time. Now Granatire back on it. Behind the cage, Indiana takes it. Way out of his net here is Norkovicus with 1:45 to play. Still in it, though, as he retreats back. He's looking over to his bench. This will be dumped in, covered up by McElhaney. Norkovicus not out yet.
You figure it's going to be a timeout here for Carrick, and they most likely will pull Norkovicus with a offensive zone faceoff.
Now it becomes desperation time. Any sort of turnover mistake leads to most likely a goal the other way. So Carrick has to control the puck, and they got to get a couple of goals here in the last minute 38. This offense probably has the ability to do it, but the way Indiana is playing tonight, it's going to be a challenge.
Certainly the Little Indians have really clamped down in this third period. Really went back to the second period where they didn't allow any goals and just 9 shots on net as well. But I wanted to highlight, we'd mentioned a co-op program at Carrick, 7 different school districts. It's obviously Carrick along with Carlington, Brashear, Alderdice, West Mifflin, Brentwood, and Steel Valley. So not only do you have the players represented from those 7 teams, but fans as well. And it's a big fan base because it extends for such a large region. And what a turnaround we talked about this season for Carrick. And even if they aren't able to pull this one off, you have to feel there's going to be a lot of interest from the younger players getting involved with this program.
Yeah, no doubt. And, I think it's a good thing for a team like Carrick. They're able to do that. Obviously, hockey is a game that costs a lot of money to play. It's very expensive. And
a lot of time dedicated as well because it's not your typical practice times.
Certainly. And the interest they have from the public schools, they do draw a number of players, but they would not be able to field a team that's, I don't think, anywhere near as competitive as this one is without being able to draw from those extra districts. I'm not sure they would even be able to field a team in general if they didn't have the help through the co-op of getting schools outside of the City League. So that said, it has been a great turnaround for them. 2 years ago, they were 5-5. Last year, 10-10. This year, 20-0 in the regular season, trying to make it 24-0, but time running out. Dumped all the way back down. Net is empty to our left. Skating out with it is Spiker. He had it stolen away. Comes to O'Neill. O'Neill, a shot, he scores, and that'll do it. O'Neill is second of the game. Indiana is going to claim their first championship.
And Patrick O'Neill continues his playoff heroics. We highlighted him before the game. His head coach highlighted him, said we want about 2 points per game from him. And not only does he provide 2 points here, he provides 2 goals.
2 third-period goals for O'Neill. And it's 5-2.
And I think the fans for the Little Indians realize it as well, because they're just a minute and 29 away from hoisting the first ever Division II championship.
The Indiana goal, his second of the game, scored by number 17, Patrick O'Neill. Assisted by number 11, Tyler Barker. Time of the goal, 15:36. O'Neill, his second from Barker at 15:36.
Another point for Barker, who has what potentially will prove to be the game-winning goal. Now the net empty again. They dump it back down with 1 minute to go. O'Neill sent a long shot in, looking for the HT. Now down the near side, Unger skated around a man. Unger bringing it ahead. Time running out on Carrick's bid for a perfect season. They were trying to be the first team since 2009 to go undefeated or untied, and it's not going to happen here tonight.
And keep in mind that the Little Indians trailed this contest 2-1 for the last minute and 5 of that first period and for the majority of the second period. Then they finally got the equalizer. It's been all Indians from that point.
Net is empty again to the left. Norkovicus out, off the draw. It's bounced out to center ice. Unger will retreat.
Crazy thing about this, Josh, even though we mentioned Carrick really somewhat of the 8 seed, I think this would be many people's minds an upset.
Yeah, I'm with you. Here's a centering pass as Manuel was looking for the hat trick of his own, but couldn't hit. The way that they were playing, beating a couple of pretty good teams in both Harbor Creek, the number 1 seed in Meadville. This is a big-time win for Indiana as they dump it all the way back down, under 10 to go.
Even though this one's almost over, we're going to have lots of goodies coming up afterwards.
And we'll have the Blade Runner scoring summary. We'll try to get a word in with head coach Dom Glavich. We'll have the Mount Lebanon Ice Arena play of the game and the Management Science Associates 3 stars of the game as well. Off the draw, 5 seconds to play. Manuel behind the net, centered one. Couldn't get it out, 2 seconds to go, and the clock will freeze with 0.7 left.
You just want this one to finish cordially.
I think they're going to let the clock run out. They are. That'll do it. The Little Indians, their first title. They take down Carrick 5-2 in the championship game here at RMU's Island Sports Center. Congratulations to the Little Indians on a phenomenal year. 16-5-2, an up and down season at times for them, but it results in their first Open or Division II title. And for Carrick on the other end, they taste defeat for the first time all year. A heartbreaker getting to the championship game as a tremendous opponent. We knew it was going to take all year long. That's exactly what was unfolding here tonight. We could tell during the course of the game.
Indiana 42. Final score, Indiana 5, Carrick 2.
We will take a break. When we come back, we'll break down this one. It is a championship for the Little Indians here in Division II PIHL hockey. Heard it right here, as always, on the MSA Sports Network. Final score, Indiana 5, Carrick 2.
UPMC Sports Medicine is the region's largest and most experienced center dedicated to caring for athletes of all levels. And as we celebrate more than 25 years of world-class care, we're proud to offer more services, have more physicians, and treat more student athletes than any other sports medicine provider in the region. Why would you choose to go anywhere else? To learn more, call 1-855-93-SPORT or visit upmcsportsmedicine.com.
Attention all teenagers in the South Hills. If you need something to do on a Friday night, look no further than the TGIF skate at the Mount Lebanon Ice Arena. Featuring a live DJ, big screen TV, special effects lighting, and games from 8 to 11, it's the place to be this winter. Mount Lebanon Ice Arena also offers an after-school skate for younger children, Fridays from 4:30 to 6 p.m., and a full range of instructional programs for all ages. For more information, call 412-561-4363 or visit mountlebanon.org.
The new home for the PIHL in 2014-2015 is the MSA Sports Network. Not only can you listen to audio broadcasts of high school hockey games online like in years past, but this year MSA Sports will be video streaming 25 games live and archived during the regular season with exclusive coverage of the 2015 Penguin Cup playoffs. Your audio and video home of the PIHL is the MSA Sports Network.
Life is about having the confidence to know you can do anything right. I get that at Carlo.
I graduated with top awards, but beyond the classroom, Carlo helped me learn a lot about myself.
Carlo brings out the best in you.
I know I'm going to be a fantastic nurse.
I know whatever I come across, I'll be prepared.
I can't think of a better place to start the rest of my life, because at Carlo, I know I matter.
I matter.
I matter.
Enroll at Carlo University. Visit carlo.edu.
Want to learn how to ice skate or play hockey like they do in the PIHL? Looking for a good place to throw that winter birthday party? If you answered yes, Blade Runners is the place to go for public or private skating sessions, plus learn to skate and learn to play hockey classes. And don't forget to check out PIHL game action at their 2 locations in Harmarville and Warrendale. For more information on ice time, class and game schedules, or party planning, visit their website at www.bladerunnersice.com. See you at the rink.
When looking to replace your athletic field, choose ProGrass, first in turf. ProGrass has installed over 500 fields in the U.S. Getting the best artificial turf for your field depends on both the product and the partner you choose. That's why architects, athletic directors, and players choose the ProGrass Performance System. ProGrass maintains an active presence in the synthetic turf industry as members of the Sports Turf Management Association and the American Sports Builder Association, and is proud to be recognized as the FIFA preferred manufacturer. Call ProGrass today, 866-270-6003, or visit them on the web at www.progressturf.com. ProGrass, first in turf.
Alongside Sean Meyers, I'm Josh Rowntree. Indiana will lift their first ever Division II Championship Cup, the first one ever given out, but their first overall championship ever won in Indiana history. They have come close a couple of times.
Number 12,
They finally get it done here tonight. And saying at the end of the broadcast, we talked all year long that in order to beat Carrick, Adam Horner and I, the co-host of the PIHL Power Play Show, to beat Carrick, it was going to take one heck of a team and one heck of an effort. Indiana's a good team. I don't think Indiana is as good as their effort was here tonight. Their effort was phenomenal, particularly the defensive end. I think they actually played much better than they are as a team. They just played very well here tonight, and certainly it was a nearly perfect game to, stop a perfect season. And what a win here tonight for Indiana.
And it's about playoff heroes, isn't it? You see at the NHL level, guys step up, and a guy like Patrick O'Neill, who's, don't get me wrong, a very good player during the regular season, but really elevated his game in the postseason. He was challenged by his coach to do so. He came up big. He was one of the key components of this victory tonight. And you look at the job defensively that Indiana did over the last 2 periods, not only at even strength, but particularly on the penalty kill. The Little Indians were just absolutely tremendous.
No doubt about it. They are getting their hats and gold medals, and they will get their cup in a moment. We'll try to get a word in a bit with Doug Glavich, as Sean's going to run down to the ice and grab some pictures and try to catch Coach Glavich for a quick word as we take a look at the Blade Runners scoring summary. Zane McElhaney gets a gold medal around his neck. We talked to him just last night on the PIHL Power Play Show. He was very excited for this one, and he comes out with a big effort and a big win tonight. He makes 34 saves in the win. On the other side, 41 shots faced for Norkovicus. He stopped 37 of them. The captains for Indiana with the trophy. The team will join them soon. They'll skate around a little bit with it as they celebrate a title for Indiana. Take a look at the Blade Runners scoring summary, brought to you by Blade Runners in 2 locations, Harmarville and Warrendale. For Indiana, they got the first goal of the game after we saw 7 penalties to start the contest. Indiana's Luke Lewandowski will get a power play marker to give the Little Indians a 1-0 lead. That would come at the 10:05 mark, a 5-on-3 it was, and Lewandowski on the near side doorstep would bury a shot past the goaltender Norkovicus to make it 1-0, but Anthony Manuel would answer for Carrick just over 5 minutes later. Manuel would get a pass from his brother Nick, go in on a breakaway, bury a shot to even the game at 1 apiece at the 15-14 mark, and then just 41 seconds later, Anthony would do it again. A power play goal, his second of the game, set up by Jake Spiker and James Unger. It's a shot by a Spiker that worked through. It came off of McElhaney, and then right there was Manuel to put it home. It was 2-0 after 1. Shots were 14-9 in favor of Indiana. We go to the second period after an early penalty to Indiana's Andrew Roth put them on the PK. Really, I think what is going to turn out to be the Mount Lebanon Ice Arena play of the game. We'll go ahead and call it just that. Mount Lebanon Ice Arena play of the game. as it is a shorthanded goal by TJ Petro, a shot that Jimmy Unger fanned on in the right wing circle, and coming in to scoop it out of his mitts was TJ Petro. Petro takes it all the way down, goes backhand, forehand, buries a shot past Norkovikas to make it 2-2, and that is when the momentum swung to the side of the Little Indians. Just a little under 4 minutes after that, Tyler Barker would get what would prove to be the game-winning goal. Barker, on a great pass by Matt Swatsworth to the low slot, would drive a shot right by Norkovikas to give them a 3-2 lead. 2 goals in under 5 minutes. And Indiana was up 3-2 after 2 periods of play. Shots at that point were 36-18 in favor of the Little Indians. And then we go to the third. Early penalty on Barker. They kill that off as Carrick finished just 1 of 7 with the power play tonight. And Patrick O'Neill, he would get his 3rd goal of the playoffs. A steal, works it in, gets a shot past Norkovikas. An unassisted goal made it 4-2. We would play that way until O'Neill hit the empty netter on an assist from Tyler Barker on another steal in the attacking zone at 14:36. And that would make it 5-2 Indiana. And that is your final score. Final shots were 42-36. In that final period, Carrick with 18 shots, just 6 for Indiana, and Zane McElhaney stopped all 18 shots in that third period as Carrick comes away empty-handed tonight, and Indiana comes away with a championship. Again, the Cougars' bid for a perfect season comes up short, 23-1. Congratulations to the Cougars, head coach Matt Maurice, and particularly all the seniors who had very, very storied careers here at Carrick. That comes to an end here today. A lot of these guys, Granatire, Macaron, they were involved in this program as freshmen, played for a number of years, and they come up short of their ultimate goal here tonight. But really, for a Class C team, the way that this playoff format was structured, almost in a way to, kind of get Class C out of the way early, they were able to upset a couple of teams along the way coming out of Class C, and they were able to beat a couple of Class B teams and advance to the championship game. They come up empty and finish a remarkable season for the Cougars at 23-1. But the story is the Little Indians. Dom Glavich, congratulations to he and his seniors as they get the big win here tonight. A goal and an assist for Tyler Barker. He has the game-winning goal, a couple of goals for Patrick O'Neill. Andrew Roth with a pair of assists as well, as the Indians still down on the ice celebrating their first championship. Takes us to our Management Science Associates 3 stars of the game. The number 3 star will go to Anthony Manuel of Carrick. 2 goals on the night, the only 2 Carrick goals in the game, including 1 on the power play. He is your number 3 star. The number 2 star goes to Zane McElhaney. McElhaney stopped 34 of 36 shots in the game, including all 18 in that third period. And the number 1 star, Patrick O'Neill, a guy that had been getting it done in the playoffs, he will be your number 1 star of the game. A pair of goals here tonight, both coming in the third period. A tip of the cap as well to a couple of guys for Indiana. TJ Petro, who had the shorthanded goal. His shorthanded goal is the Mount Lebanon Ice Arena play of the game. And a couple other guys. I thought Ethan Boyer played a heck of a game as well. And Tyler Barker, who had a goal and an assist, a nod of the cap as well to him. But in the end, it was a final score of 5-2. It's your Blade Runners scoring summary, brought to you by Blade Runners in Harmarville and Warrendale. Sean, back with us now.
We will be joined momentarily by head coach Dom Glavich. He wanted to get some last-minute photos. Obviously, he and his son together on the ice, hoisting the championship, a great moment. So making his way up here.
Coach.
Hey, guys.
Here, you can take it. You can take it. There you go. Coach, congratulations.
Hey, thanks. What an ice hockey game. What a way to finish the season. You take a look back at the first period. I mean, it's an even game. It could go either way. Carrick played very, very well. I mean, their goaltender played well. Their big guys, their seniors played very well. That's a good hockey team. And, if you really look at it, this could have went either way. I mean, 1 bounce, 1 shorthanded goal. I mean, it was a special teams game, so that's a little scary because I thought they were a little stronger in special teams. But, we just did a lot of little things, bared down, and, made smart plays.
Well, you mentioned the shorthanded goal, TJ Petro. I thought the momentum really shifted in the game at that point. They're up 2-1. They have a chance on the power play to go up 3-1, and A guy fans on a shot in the right wing circle. Petro picks it up, walks it in, and what a great move he made to put that puck in the net.
Absolutely. You could feel the momentum shift, and the key there was the very next shift. We came out and got pucks, really just controlled the tempo and made sure that we kept momentum. But let me tell you what, the last 7 minutes of the second period, they came with another wave, and it was very, very hard to gain the momentum back. And then in the third period, the first 3 minutes was all Carrick, and then we kind of settled back into it and just got, north and south ice hockey, and you just really played a nice, solid game.
You told us before the game when we were talking to you that you wanted to come out, you wanted to trap them a little bit, and you wanted to make them, I believe you said you wanted to make them play a little bit of ice hockey. Do you think you did that tonight?
Yeah, absolutely. They had to go the entire length of the ice on every single time. We didn't give them much. And what you mean by that is not giving them anything. Mm-hmm. Make them earn everything, make them earn every line, and I think that's what we did.
And Coach, we also talked to you before the game against a guy like Patrick O'Neill. And him stepping up in his postseason, you said you really demanded a lot from him. You wanted 2 points a game for him in his playoffs, and not only did he provide 2 points, he provided 2 goals here. Guys like that, you really need your second-tier players to step up and become stars in the postseason if you want to make this run.
Yeah, it's all about big players and big game, and regardless of what class you're in, sometimes we pull your string and, demand something big from you. And, Pat's been there all year, but, he's one of those guys that's really driven by accomplishment and just is one of those players you can, ask a lot of, and he does nothing but respond. And I think, it wasn't the points that he scored, it was when he scored them. Those goals should almost be worth 2 points apiece because they were game-changing, momentum-changing goals. I mean, every one of our goals were momentum-changing goals.
McElhaney, also another guy. We mentioned he's really been a workhorse. He was your only goalie this season. He was a little banged up early. Wondered how that was going to affect him, but over the last 2 periods, I thought he was great.
Yeah, he was. In fact, I have the game puck in my pocket for him right now. When we go in the dressing room, we'll talk about that. But at the cut, I looked at Zay and I said, "How you feeling?" And he said, "I'm a little banged up." And I said, "No, how you feeling?" He just said, "Good. I'm ready to go." You weren't going to get him out of that net no matter what. And I was a little worried when he took one in the collarbone there, adjusted his pads. Vet move on his part. Delays, lets himself compose, and then go. Top to bottom, though, I think both benches did a nice job.
You don't really have any options about taking him out of the net.
No, you don't. And,
there's no backup.
Yeah, that's a rough call. The guy that we had there just got injured early and just never recovered. So, but hey, we won a championship. And championships are hard to win. You guys have been around the game a long time. I've been here a long time, and they are so hard to win. Even with 24 seconds to go, up 3 goals, I'm still, clenching my fists saying, come on, tick-tock, and then finding the horn blows, and you go. Thanks for covering us, guys.
Thank you. One last question for you, a 2-part question. What's it like to win this for the school in general? A big year for Indiana. You guys just are coming off a basketball championship a couple weeks ago, and what's it like to win one with your son on the team as well?
For the first part, it's all about keeping our tradition going. I mean, we have a rich tradition of winning, and we have it's such tradition of sportsmanship, victories, and even in loss, we're great sportsmen over in Indiana. So, if I have anything to say about the win and the school logo on our sweater, it's about the tradition and pride of Indiana. And then, with having Dom on the team, something special, because anytime you can share something with a guy that you're with, as a mite up through high school, it's something, words can't describe it. And, I just no words can describe that. That's a victory and a championship all in one word.
Breakfast will be fun tomorrow, huh?
It certainly will be.
Congratulations,
Thanks,
Coach.
Yep.
Tom Glavich, the head coach of Indiana, joins us on the post-game show here from RMU's Island Sports Center. The Indiana Little Indians get it done 5-2. Thanks so much to Coach for coming up here and talking to us a little bit. Final thoughts from this one?
You could see why this team was so successful with Indiana. They have a great head coach leading the way, and as he talked about, guys stepping up in the postseason, whether it be a goalie like McElhaney, who was a little banged up but fought through it and played great down the stretch, or a guy like Patrick O'Neill, who gets the last 2 goals of this contest. It's a complete team effort. It's not just your star players, and obviously that's the same case for Carrick. They got contributions all throughout the year from so many different guys. Just on this night, Indiana was a little bit better in terms of team play, and we talk about it's going to take a great team effort to knock off this undefeated Carrick team. Well, that's exactly what Indiana provided here tonight.
Yeah, no doubt, and you hit us spot on there. We knew it was going to take not only a great team but a great effort. And defensively speaking, Indiana played one heck of a game tonight. They were just tremendous in this game here tonight, and very deserving champions. Again, congratulations to Carrick as well. Phenomenal year they had under Matt Maurice, and tough to see their year come to an end, I'm sure, for them. But this night was about Indiana. They played so well here tonight, and they'll be champions. Going forward, a couple things coming up on MSA Sports this weekend. On Saturday, we will link up with some of our friends out east. We'll provide the video. They'll provide the audio of the state championship game, the Penguins Cup champions. Mars against Bayard Ruston will be the 11 o'clock game. That will be followed by the AA championship with Erie Cathedral Prep taking on... trying to remember. Central Bucks West, and then the AAA championship will feature Cannon McMillan, the 3 Penguins Cup champions in action. So those games this weekend at Pegula Ice Arena in State College. I know you're heading out to Hershey as well, as we will head to the PIHL basketball championships. 4 local teams will be participating in those. You can listen to those 4 games at msasports.net as well. Good working with you.
Absolutely. It's fun doing this hockey season, I'll tell you that much.
For our broadcasting end, part of things, the broadcasting end of things, this will do it for the year for us. Of course, we'll provide the video for the games on Saturday. But thanks so much to everybody involved in the PIHL on the MSA Sports Network, from the PIHL as well, with Jim Black and Dave Fryer setting everything up. What a phenomenal first year that we've had as the providers of PIHL hockey here on the MSA Sports Network. Just a tremendous year. Thanks so much to Don Rebel working hard on the camera all night tonight. Sean Meyers, I'm Josh Rowntree. Thanks to everybody involved in this game here tonight. Final score, Indiana 5, Carrick 2. The Little Indians skate with their first trophy in school history as they take down Carrick and ending their bid for perfection here tonight at RMU's Island Sports Center. You heard it right here, as always, only on the MSA Sports Network.
You have been listening to the Pennsylvania Interscholastic Hockey League here at MSASports.net. Sponsored in part by the Mount Lebanon Ice Arena, by Blade Runners, by S-Mark, by First Commonwealth Bank, by People's Gas, by Carlow University, by UPMC Sports Medicine, by the East Suburban Sports Medicine Center, by J&J Distributing, and by Management Science Associates. You can follow the high school hockey season every day by logging on to www.msasports.net. The preceding has been a special presentation of the Management Science Associates Sports Network.